No, you're good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Tonight we are doing things just a tiny bit differently. Tonight we are celebrating Juneteenth, and we are serving up all kinds of Black girl magic tonight. So y'all just gonna get you some and enjoy it, okay? For those of you who don't know, Juneteenth is the celebration from what was supposed to be the end of slavery. Wait, hold on. Somebody thing going on here.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. I hear it. But then I hear mine in the living room too. Hold on. Let me turn it down. We got volume buttons. They work. There we go. I'm good now. Okay. Juneteenth is a celebration of June 19th, 1865, which was technically the end of slavery. But you want to know something? It was another 900 days before Black Americans were actually physically free. Another 900 days. So while we are here to celebrate the liberation that happened for the people that look like all these beautiful women on this screen, we're also here to highlight and elevate our voices as Black authors, and to go ahead and have you guys ask any questions that you might have about writing Black characters, about being Black AuthorTubers, anything like that. We're definitely open for that. I do want to start off by saying we have someone who reached out because they appreciate and understand what the Black Lives Matter movement is. And when we're saying Black Lives Matter, we're not saying that all lives don't matter. We're just saying right now we're focused on the Black ones, right? And so because of that, Very Bad Books has decided to help us with donations. And you can screenshot your donations and send those to verybadbooks@gmail.com. I will have it up on the screen, and she will match your donation. So that is what we're doing tonight. We want to thank Very Bad Books for doing that. We appreciate that so very much. It's not hard to be an ally. It's not. Just saying. So I'm going to let my co-hosts introduce themselves, and we're going to say who we are, what we do, what we're working on, and anything interesting you want to say about yourself between now and then. So we're going to start with... I guess that's me. That's you.
Hi, you guys. My name is Chelsea. I'm normally over on my channel, The Written in Melanin. And I'm the owner of Written in Melanin Publishing. So, hey, how y'all doing? I had a whole spiel in my head that I practiced, and it left me when I actually had to start talking. So we do the Melanin Chat on Tuesdays. We hang out. We talk about writing, reading, and books. I do that with LaKase. She's on the stream as well. And these lovely ladies are always supporting, and they're wonderful. So I'm glad to be here with them. I'm going to be working on alternating between two projects because I don't know how to focus. And yeah, that's my spiel. Thanks for having me.
And I'm the Naked Firefly, and I just realized I left my name up there, but that's okay. Y'all can call me Yana for today. It's all right. But I am the Naked Firefly. I will be, it's 4:00 in the morning. I will be doing read-through my edits for my debut novel, The Healer's Love, and I have nothing else for right now. It's 4:00 in the morning. Good morning, people.
Ooh, that is dedication. Ooh, morning. I love you, Cash.
That's love. That's real love. I just want to stop right now and say, I love you too. If you ask me to be up at 4 a.m. for you, I promise you, I got, you know what? Say 2 a.m. I'm there.
I love you too.
2:47 and I got you.
You are not going to see me ask anybody for that, but thank you. I love you.
Oh, I'll see you at midnight.
You just hit 300. Cachet. That's what they're saying in the chat.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Okay, so I was just saying that if I hit it, I wouldn't want to hit it with anybody else but the women on the screen right now. So that is so awesome. Oh, my gosh. Thank you. Okay. Go back to introductions where I like cry or something, okay?
Yay!
I'm so happy. I'm so glad that we could be here to see it. Love to see it. All right. Hello, my name is Tamara Woods, and I'm a cozy mystery author. And I'm gonna work on something. I don't know what. I'll let you know after I figure it out.
I support that energy.
Here for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you,
Oh, it's my turn. All right, I'm LaKase Cousino. I think I'm frozen, but I'm going to work through it. I work with Chelsea at Written Melanin. The face I'm making in my frozen screen is actually hilarious, but I'm just like, I'm staring at it. But
I know why you look like, oh my God. What
Shocked.
are they talking about?
Really,
why is this
I'm
going on right now?
Why is this happening? Why am I here? No, I was so glad to be here. But yeah, I work with Chelsea. I'm constantly writing and stressing out. So this was a great opportunity to do something besides those two things. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. Okay, so for everybody that's wondering, Very Bad Books is putting the exact information in the chat, and I will update the description for it. So it is up to $300 for the record. So if somebody do $300, then I mean everybody else who donate, we appreciate you, but that's all she matching. So I don't want y'all to think y'all donate $2,000. She doing that? Nah, she keeping her money. Okay, just make sure we're clear on that.
I feel like it's only appropriate if we meet 300 because you just hit 300 subscribers. I just feel like that's divine providence.
Would be awesome. I think that would be great.
So,
and the boyfriend is here.
I was about to ask.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's say hi to everybody that's in the chat while we wait for LaKase to join us. Also, we will have another host, Tiffany. Oh, there's LaKase.
my little bun is
falling apart. We got you.
She's
back.
not frozen.
Hey, you're not frozen. Hey. Okay, we got it.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so Carol was in here first. Netta was second. I don't think I've seen you on my channel before. Welcome. Sid came in third. Devin, what do we say? It's not a stream without Devin. The bro Grayson. First of all, Grayson, let me tell you something. I messaged you on Instagram, and you
we have been missing you.
We've been missing you, and I just
where were you?
Right, you went at Tamara's stream. It's something going on, and we need to have a family meeting or whatever. Because that's not okay. Okay.
No,
we got Jeannie after she headed out of Camille's stream. BC Brown Books. Nicole, hey Nicole. Spence, we got Shalina. I know, I'm so glad it came up in your feed.
Oh, that's a surprise.
We got DK Marlowe and Lauren in here. Let's see. Ooh, Sky made it. Hi, Sky. It's so great to see you. Stevie is here. Miss Barbara and Very Bad Books has arrived. Miss Tamara pulling double duty as well as the Naked Firefly.
Yes.
Oh, and it's BC Brown Books' birthday eve. Well, happy early birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Technically, I can say happy birthday. It's happy birthday here. Happy birthday. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Ashley. And that is such a cute avatar.
It's super cute.
It's super cute. Hey, CJ. Oh, Nicole is having breakfast. Good morning, Nicole. Nicole is over in the Philippines. And me and Nicole will be streaming next week for a 10K Thursday. I'll be streaming in the morning my time, which will be nighttime her time. So, yeah. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, and we got Kat. If you guys remember last week, Kat was on the stream for the disability stream, and she was dropping gems. She was telling us, man, my head was going to explode with so much information. So if you haven't seen that stream, I would definitely encourage you to check it out. It was even an hour longer than normal. It was so much information. We had a great time.
It was a really good stream.
wow.
Y'all should check it out.
It was Samantha. Hello. Shalina saying beauty times 5. Yes, y'all are beautiful. So much beauty. Can y'all just go make us blush? Y'all so sweet. Hey. Hey. Grapevine said this stream is such a good idea. We got Sako. Sako, I love your little smirk in this picture. It always makes me smile. Class and beauty all over my screen, and I'm loving it.
Y'all are too kind.
Y'all are. We got Sarah in here. Scott says, you ladies are amazing for doing this stream. I took a 3-hour nap as well as prayed to the internet gods to let my internet work just so I could catch this stream. And then Sarah coming in with the big announcement. Goodness gracious. And then everybody talking about 4 a.m. Yeah. 3:01. We getting up there. Oh, thank you, Carol. All right. So just so we're all on the same page, she will match up to 300 and will also submit that total through her company. Who will match a 3-to-1 match. So that's quadruple the match.
Wow.
That is quadruple the match.
Wow.
That is amazing.
All right. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Right?
Nuts.
Right? Again, it's not hard to be an ally, y'all. It's not. We got Linda Lisa. I don't think I've seen you on my stream before. Hello. The Quiet Adventurer. It's nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you before either. And I love cityscapes. I love
That's
pictures of that.
beautiful.
That's so pretty.
That
That's
Paris?
so pretty.
Is that Paris?
It's the right time.
Right. Oh, and for the first time, StreamYard jumped. So that was actually, I made it really far. So listen, I'm so glad I get to write at one stream today. I baked 9 loaves of bread, cookies, 2 kinds of scones, mini muffins. I'm pumped to write. Yeah, you.
Wow.
First of all, it's too hot for me to be in a kitchen that long. I just don't even know how you did that. You
9
just
loaves?
be doing it.
Go ahead.
I can't bake, so there's so much respect in that.
I cannot bake at all. At all.
I could if I was back at home and had air conditioning.
Yeah, right. There's no air conditioning here. There's not much baking happening right now.
This like AC. I don't know how y'all do it because my house be on 70 easily.
I can't stay in Texas with no AC. That's just not.
Listen to some Motown and hope and pray I don't die. Just listen to some Motown. That's just it. Just keep it cool with some Motown.
They keep it cool with the Motown. That's why y'all hear all these fans.
Right.
Respect.
Let's see who else we got. And then we got the whole everybody saying congrats. Oh, the boyfriend is still here. ESPN. Let's see what else do we have in here. We have Sherrell Rundle. Oh my gosh, your picture is so awesome. Because I love Supernatural. Cool. It's so awesome. We got Frank Ingram, or am I saying, is it Frank or Frank, or how do you say that? The C makes me think I gotta pronounce it with an accent. I don't know. It does. It made me think
I thought that too. So that's worrying on. I thought that too.
Okay, thank you for y'all laughing at me. First of all, Kashara, a few minutes ago, okay, but I messaged you some hours ago. But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, she did.
We got Steven right because I was on screen with her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we was thinking about you.
Yeah.
Hi, Steven. I feel like I haven't seen you in so long.
Hey, I want to in a minute.
Sylvia from Write Your Life. Hello. I don't think I've seen you before either. And I'm loving that lipstick. IE, hello. Let's see. Am I through? I think I'm almost through everybody. Did I make it through? It was 120 in Arizona today. Oh, hell no. No.
That's not even a real temperature.
No, that's like the 6th level of hell heat. And I just can't do it.
Not the 6th level.
Not the 6th.
Like, not the 6th. It's not like I couldn't even. We got Claire midday here in Australia. Ooh, Australia peeps. Okay.
Oh, Aussie.
All right. And let's see, who else do we have? We have Jaleesa J. Robinson. Hey, I'm so happy to see this. This is needed. My heart is happy. Yay! So glad we could make your heart happy. The Quiet Adventure says, I can't even bake chocolate chip cookies. I'm like,
Right.
yo, I made chocolate chip cookies yesterday. The bottom was burnt. I was eating the top of them. I'm not even ashamed to say it.
I'm not
like, 'cause
allowed
I'm-
to make chocolate chip cookies.
I can't do it.
Nah, y'all ever heard of Tiff's Treats? I order my cookies now. I've elevated.
Tiff's Treats is ooh. That and insomnia cookies.
I can bake the cookies. The problem is I eat the whole pan by myself, so there's no sharing involved.
I'm okay with that. You were the adult of the situation. You bought the cookies. You baked the cookies before you get to eat the cookies. I see nothing wrong with that equation.
I have 5 little ones that would say otherwise.
Bonnie Phillips and hate cleaning spritz for me. Sarah says, I keep my house at 68. I do not tolerate being hot. I feel you. Kat says, I'm debating on washing my hair or heading to bed. I thought it was Friday already. Ooh.
Friday for me.
Ooh. Okay, where did it go? Oh, okay.
I know it's not Friday because I'm not on Sarah's stream.
Right. Spence said, I'm selling at a market on Saturday, but it's going to be 90 tomorrow, so I wanted to get as much done today as possible. So I have an option to not tomorrow. Oh, you be thinking.
That's good planning.
I like that. That's some good planning right there. Ashley says, my apartment stay hot. My poor air conditioner is working so hard. Man, it's short for Francesca. See? I knew it wasn't just no. See? I be knowing stuff.
I love that name, Francesca.
Right. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Grace said, I was asleep all day. I just woke up about it. Okay, that's fine. See you. Ooh, that's that sleep catching up with you that you don't be getting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
So now I'm going to look at you like this.
We got down and like, ooh, the naked firefly's awake right now.
I know it is a miracle. I actually was only in the second REM sleep. I'm here.
Barry Bad Book says it's 1,000 in California. Tamara Writes is here. Shalina, did I know that you were in Canada? I feel like I did not know you were in Canada.
No, I don't think I knew either.
Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all, I've only been out the country twice, and I went to Greece the first time, and everybody thought that I was from Canada. And I was like, I mean, I know Drake and Melanie Fiona are from there, but
Really?
y'all think I'm from there? And then every black person I met was from Canada. Every single one.
That's why they thought you were from Canada.
That's why they thought I was from Canada. Like, I was really like, no. See, I'm learning stuff. Yeah, it's 120. It's hot, but it's not.
Are you on a club?
Okay, all right. Grayson, thank you for somebody getting on somebody other than me, because we know I'm sensitive.
Oh my gosh.
Shanita is here. Shanita with the beautiful avatar. Okay, now I think we finally got through everybody. Ooh, and it took us less than 20 minutes.
I wasn't side-eyeing you. I was side-eyeing Grayson.
No, that's what Grayson was saying. Why you got to side-eye him?
He need to be side-eyed.
I mean, we was worried.
I mean, we ain't heard from you. We ain't seen you. We ain't got a hoo from you. Nothing.
There are writers from everywhere here tonight. I'm so excited. Washington State here, cold and rainy most of the time. Yeah, I know you're from Canada, Devin. I remember that because you be going hiking and stuff and doing them like mile-long, hour-long hikes. And I'd be like, ooh.
And I learned about new holidays in Canada.
Right, you be telling us about the holiday. I listen. I promise I listen.
I'm so curious.
Worldwide.
We worldwide tonight. I'm excited. Okay, so we're about to get into the first sprint, but we have the first question for the panelists tonight. We're going to be doing it a little bit differently. We're going to be answering questions. So that will be the thing. So for the first question for everybody on the panel is, how did you find your writer voice?
Are we going in a circle or are we just jumping in?
Yeah, let's start with LaKase and go around.
Hey, I get to go first before I freeze up again. I would say it took lots of reading and writing. I believe we already have our voice. It's just kind of like digging it out. So I did a lot of reading, a lot of practice, a lot of really bad writing until I figured out exactly what I was trying to do. So yeah, I think it took me time. It took a lot of support, and it took people being patient with me getting through the muck. But yeah, I feel like I'm still kind of uncovering it though, you know, still trying to make it exactly what I want it to be.
I agree with that. I'm still working on truly defining my voice, but I think that it started with poetry and writing poem after poem after poem and really kind of digging deep into my feelings and, I don't know, talking about things in a way that I could be very open, but also hold back a little bit of myself, because I'm very open, but also reserved. So doing that and doing a lot of reading and just and I've written blog posts and articles and, you know, research papers and short stories. And then I finally started settling into the novel writing. So I kind of explored as many things as possible to develop my voice and my sound.
Can we come back to me? Because I'm still thinking.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess that makes it my turn. I guess kind of like what you guys both said, it's just a lot of writing, a lot of reading. And for me, it was more of having to realize that, you know, they say imitation is the best form of flattery, but also like I can't imitate the other people that I have read. And so like learning to separate what I want to write versus this is how this person does it. So like, let me incorporate that into my writing and just kind of removing myself from the box that I put myself in. Because when I first started writing, I was like, ooh, I have to write a novel. That's what people do. Like there's a lot more writing than that. So just figuring out what makes me comfortable and what makes me happy. And then just giving myself space to explore that versus being like, I have to write like this, and giving myself permission to like, I don't know, explore things, I guess. Does that make sense? I don't know if that answers the question or not, but that's what came to my mind. So that's what you got. Yeah.
I think it works.
Awesome. You ready, Yana?
Yes, I think so. How did I find my writer voice? I honestly don't know. And that is an honest answer. I just kind of just read and wrote and read and wrote and I feel like I just used that word all wrong. But anyways, yes. I don't know. I guess like I just kind of explored to see. I just wrote down my thoughts and whatever I couldn't say to people in their face, I just wrote it down. And then until eventually I was brave enough to say it to their face. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm still kind of discovering my writer voice right now at this point, at this time. So I don't know.
That's
Okay. That is fine. That's fine. For me, it's very similar to everybody on the stream, but especially Tamara, because poetry is exactly how I got started. It's like my first love when it comes to writing. It's like my fallback on anything. When I can't write a story or work on a story, I'm working on poetry. It's legit the only thing I worked on today when I wrote. So I think the other part of it was finding out what I liked and didn't like in stories and how I felt I could improve on it. Because I feel like what I did a lot of times is I would read a story and I'd be like, how would I tell this story? Like, what would be different if I was the person to tell it? And I think that helped me a lot to find my voice because, like Chelsea was saying, imitation is the best form of flattery. But like once you start writing someone else's story and you get your voice, like it's really, really easy to transform their story into something totally different. And so that's what I would do. So yeah, that's kind of how I did it. So yeah, all right. Well, with that, and for those of you, if anybody does want to answer the question, which is perfectly fine, go ahead and do that because we are about to start a sprint. And no, it wasn't supposed to start yet. For those of you who are new, we are doing 20-minute sprints this month. We'll be back to 15 next month, I promise you, because 20 is killing me. It is. I'm not gonna lie. It be killing me. I need some
You're
work.
like,
It do. It kills me. So we'll be doing 20-minute sprints. The counter counts up, so it will count up. The lovely Tamara uses it. That brings me to one note that I want to say. Throughout this stream, I will be giving you guys small ways in which you can help elevate and help Black creators. The first one is, for those of you who stream, using a timer created by a Black creator helps to give that person more views and watch time. And it's something small that you are already going to do. So that's tip number 1 for the night. And we appreciate it. We do. We definitely appreciate it. It is definitely not at all forgotten. So yeah, let's go. All right. How did everybody do? Let us know in the comments how everybody did. Ooh, did I scare you? Did I scare you?
Oh no, I was just like, ooh, how did I?
I was like, oh, LaKase ain't been on here. That's like my little, everybody likes to make fun of me every time I do it, but that's my little signal that the sprint is over and whatnot. All right, how did you guys do?
Okay, so I'm gonna be upfront. I wrote 33 words, and that's it.
Hey, there's 33 words you did not have.
You're right, but I spent most of my time. I haven't actually been writing for like the last week, so I had to go back and reread and be like, "Oh, is this what's happening?" Okay, so it's been most of my time rereading, but hopefully the next sprint I'll actually be productive. That's the hope, anyway. We'll see. It's almost 10 o'clock, so we'll see.
I started a writing blog, and gosh, and also I got to chapter 2 of reading. I know that doesn't sound like much,
Nice.
but rereading.
No, you got a whole chapter done. That's good.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's wonderful. I am listening to my newsletter magnet on Natural Reader, and I'm taking notes and changing things. So that's what I decided to do.
Nice.
I love it. Productive.
All right, I'm writing an essay on colorism, and I got 566 words, which is like the most I've gotten in a sprint ever.
That is
I was going, girl.
Wow, you were feeling it.
I was like, you know what? Let's go.
Okay, so let's see. We had quite a few people join us during the sprint. We had Fuchsia Meek join us and answer the question. I don't think I've seen you on my channel before, and I love your shirt. It's really pretty in your avatar. I just think it's great. I'm a photographer, for those of y'all who don't know, so that's why I be at people's avatars and paying attention to their pictures so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. But she said, mine just developed from fan fiction and then short story rewrites. A lot of rewrites, OMG. And just discovering what I like best about writing. That's awesome. Let's see. We had someone else join that I hadn't seen before. Lisa ended up having to leave us. She said she'll come back when it isn't 4:30 a.m. I definitely understand. Ooh. I understand. That's why somebody's in avatar mode. I get it. I get it. Okay, I think I'll just go down, and when I see the person whose name I saw, we'll just go from that. So for me, what I did during the sprint, I'm working on the video that's going up tomorrow because it was supposed to be a reading vlog. The reading didn't happen. The reading vlog's going to go up on Monday. I'm going to read over the weekend. But it's my goal to have a video up a week, and Friday has been the day. So I'm like, you got to finish this video tonight. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Nice. Sky said, writing short stories or just writing in general, reading books that had lots of issues, editing, plot holes, etc., and saying, I can do this better, and then just writing. That's awesome.
I used to love doing that as a kid.
Right, and Bookish Session is doing a spontaneous writing vlog. Everybody doing writing vlogs.
Oh, cool.
Nicole said, mommy by day, writer at night. Somebody else talking about vlogs. I wasn't able to film my vlog for yesterday, so I would do it after the stream. Ooh, I can't wait to see it. For those of you who don't know, Nicole is also an AuthorTuber, and she does streams. So you definitely can check out her channel. I think she has great content, so I would definitely check it out. Shanita says, my writer voice started with poetry as well. I was a shy child, so it was my way of expressing myself where I remain safely within my own personal cocoon. Ain't that it? CJ said, my sister called me to do some yoga, and tonight's flow is 32 minutes, so I only got to read through the first 2 chapters of my outline, but I'll be back. Nicole says, my answer, I found my writing voice when I first wrote some sort of screenplay. It was fanfic for my cousin. Never felt so free when I first wrote something. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Claire says, I tried making writing vlogs, but it turns out it's really hard to string 40 minutes of footage saying I'll start writing soon into a compelling vlog. I laughed really hard. Y'all probably saw me laughing. I thought that was awesome. DK says, I don't have a writer voice yet. With all these mentions of poetry, I think I'm going to have to look into that. I tend to absorb the voice of whomever I'm reading at the moment. That is okay. That is okay. It will help you find your voice. And if you do take a dabble in poetry, we would love to hear about it. Sylvia says, I found my voice by writing things I knew I would never publish. It allowed me to be free and find my own style. I free write every day, so I totally feel that. Barbara says, I found my writing voice in grade school. We were asked to write a short story about flowers, and mine was about a geranium that murdered the gardener.
Yes. We still have it. Can we read it?
Can we read it, please?
I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Right. Hello, swinging by. Hello, Heather is swinging by to say hi and hit the like button. Hi, Heather. So good to see you. 50 likes. Oh, my goodness. I think that's the most I've ever gotten. Oh, my goodness. Tonight is just...
Hey!
I mean, tonight I'm doing everything. I got my first dislike. I got 300 subs. I got 50 likes. Like, it's
and
like I'm hitting the big league.
And I'm up.
And she up.
Yes.
And she up. Man, ain't God good, y'all.
She about to testify.
Hey. Ooh, Heather said she was the 50th like. Hey. LC Clemens. Hello. LC is another AuthorTuber who streams Saturdays. Yeah. Say hi to the vlog. Hey, hi vlog. I don't know if you're seeing it right now, but I'm saying hi. And if you need us to do it again, tell us, we'll say hi to your vlog on camera. We got you. Bookish Obsession says, currently trying to decide if slamming my head into my keyboard will give me the words I need.
It will give you words. Probably not the ones you need.
Carol said, how did everybody do? So Mama says 170 and currently trying to figure out how to connect two paragraphs. Dow says, I think it came from my days of songwriting and poetry, but I'm not sure I have a writer voice yet. Poetry seems to be the ticket. If y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Nicole got chores done, now giving her son a bath. Grayson's waiting for water to boil. Bookish Obsession said, I obviously couldn't focus. Jeannie printed out Act 3 for edits and additions. Dow said, I'm editing, so no word count. Shanita got 313 words and managed to figure out how to move my main character through her grandmother's legacy book. Ooh, sounds intriguing. LC says, I want to walk away from my second draft and come back to it later, but I'm stuck. Caitlin got 80 words, but I did fix my boyfriend's glasses. Hey, y'all know, I haven't even had these for a full month, and I love them. I'm like, yes, I can see stuff. Spence got 192 and a very late dinner. Sherrell spent time rereading. Barry Bear Book says, I'm thinking I need to start a writing website. I thought you were trying to say you need to start a writing bestie. I could be a writing bestie. I'm good at that. I'm a good writing bestie. But yeah, a website, let me know, because y'all know I be dabbling in the website stuff. So let me know. Bookish Session said, I only got 50 words. Hey, that's 50 more words than I got. So you doing
that's
it.
50.
Sylvia said, I read 5 revised pages and made some notes. BC got 114. The Quiet Adventurer got 47. Writer's block on my screenplay. What's your screenplay about? We're interested. Ashley said, I wrote a paragraph. Maybe. Sid said, my dad was talking to me for the first 7 minutes of the sprint, so my mojo went away. But I wrote 398 words, and my new ratchet story is about me and my siblings. Oh, you know we love some good ratchetness.
Ratchet story.
We know we love some good ratchetness. Like, for real. Ooh, that jumped high. Stevie said, I did some dictation practice using book 1, 2 birds, 1 stone for 1K-ish words, then did 101 actual new words. And we got Samantha, who has 351 words. And we have our last host, Miss Trap. Hello. Would you like to introduce yourself to the people?
I'm Tiffany, aka Trap, and everybody's background looks nice, and mine look like I'm in prison. Everybody got stuff in their background. I promise I'm not in prison, guys.
This is a green screen. So it looks real ragged without this picture on it.
Man, my whole house looked like an episode of Hoarders because I cleared out a closet. So this was about the nicest space. Good job.
So tell us what you write and anything else you want to let us know.
I write romance because I'm a hopeless romantic trapped in this thug's body. And I used to write medical articles, but now I'm trying to just get back into nonfiction writing. So that's it. Currently, my bread and butter is doing resumes, but that gets boring. So I'm trying to get out of that.
All right. So we just ended our first sprint. We're getting everybody's word counts in. Miss Barbara got 561. Tori, I don't think I've seen you before, and your avatar is cute. It is too cute. 746, but it's a quick, intense scene that I needed to get down, so that helped. Frank got 321.
Oh, wow.
Eva got through another chapter of edits. Heather says, I'm still working on my writer's voice, but I think it's starting to come along. Sherrell has to head out. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you had a great time. And you could probably catch us on a replay. Claire says, back, had to go hang out with the washing, but got some more polishing done on my preparations for a rewrite. That's awesome. Books Obsession says, I struggle with my writer voice, but I'm getting there. And I think the fact that I'm editing right now is a lot of help in that. We got Leora. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Claire says, I'm not sure if I have a specific voice. I've always just been driven by the desire to twist readers up in knots with tension. Yes, the first question is, how do we find your writing voice? Yes. All right, people want to read. Stevie says, I grow into my voice the more I find myself. Great Fry says, I think I'm still finding my voice, but it's heavily inspired by poetry and Lemony Snicket. All right, let's talk about Lemony Snicket and my childhood.
Nice.
Man, he helped my vocabulary so much. Man.
Can we talk about how, like, for Lemony Snicket, I loved his books because he just, like, broke all the rules constantly. He had, like, pages of the same words over and over and over again.
Over. Like, echo words did not matter to him, like, at all.
Right.
And it was amazing. And it's like, y'all really can't see these people? They don't, like, you can't tell that this is this man.
Right.
He that good at disguises? Because on the TV show, he not. On the TV show, he awful. He awful. Awful.
We talk about how it was always the same man, and they were always so confused, but they're supposed to be so smart. And I'm
right. I was like, man. And but the fact that he created like a whole persona for himself, for the character, like Lemony Snicket was a character himself, and I thought that was like intensely like crazy cool. Like, yeah, Lemony Snicket's great. Leora says, my writer voice came after years of copying other styles and paying attention to the feedback I like to get. When people say, your writing is gentle and funny, but about deep stuff, I was like, yes. We at 58. Woo woo. We got Miss Dana in the house.
Hi, Dana.
And after 8 stores, I finally found my new chair. Yay. That's going to be awesome.
I hope it's better on your back.
Oh, this is so rude.
I worked on my second favorite part of having a YouTube, the thumbnail. I do like messing with the thumbnails. I do. As y'all see, I do different thumbnails for different reasons. So, yeah.
You look at my thumbnails, they are generic because I do not like doing them.
Mine can definitely come from a template.
Everybody saying, hey, Queen Trap, letting you know hello.
Hey, look, I'm over here trying to
see
send somebody the link to the live, and I can't find it.
Oh, you need me to give it to you? I can put it in the
private. Yes, please.
Yeah, I can put it in the private chat, no problem. Brian says, sadly, I'm working on math homework. I'd much rather be writing, but what's a girl gonna do? Ooh, I know that feeling.
Ooh, child, we ain't gonna talk about math. No lie, I was in advanced trigonometry. I fell asleep in that class every day. But she would wake me up. She would get fed up with me, and she would wake me up. And my eyes would be like this, and I answer the question, and I lay my head back down.
Oh my goodness.
Miss Gresham, bless her heart. She did not have an easy pupil.
Persephone joined us. Hey, girl. Very Bad Books wants to know if you guys are willing to read her short story. She's in the comments, so definitely let her know. It's her first time sharing her writing publicly. She won a round, so congratulations on that.
Whoop whoop.
Oh.
Stevie says, oh man, I need to go revisit that because I was just criticizing my echo words in book 1, right? Bookish Obsession says, I remember trying to read Lemony Snicket, but our teachers had a rule: if you have 5 or more words you don't know on a page, the book is too hard. And I still read it. How else will we learn facts? Like, how else are you gonna learn?
Dictionaries exist. I don't understand.
That doesn't make any sense.
And then I love him because he put words in there and then he told you the definition of the word and then used it as an example. And then
it was like a spelling bee. Like, he gave you everything. Could you use this word in a sentence? Can you give me the definition? Like, it was everything.
Right. And then he was like, it's not this, it's this. I love Lemony Snicket. It was so good.
Because I did enjoy math until my college professor made everything difficult. Y'all, do you know I never had less than an A in a math class till I got to college, and the reason I got a B is because I refused to work out the problems the way the teacher told me to, even if the answer was right. Yeah. I would. I just refused.
I had a science teacher that if you didn't put a measurement behind it, she gave the whole thing. She didn't care how right your problem was. And if you don't do this, she won't give you credit.
Like, oh man, yeah, I hate when professors do that. What were you gonna say, Chelsea?
I have the worst math teacher in the 9th grade. Her name was Miss I hated her so much. I still have nothing but animosity feelings towards her. And I was in the 9th grade. I'm minding my own business. She gives us a test. I take the test. I get 100 on it. Only person in the class to get 100, right? She gives me a 0 because she's like, you didn't show your work. You could have cheated. I'm like, who am I cheating off of? I'm the only person that got to pass this grade. How does that even make sense? Right?
I don't know. Who am I cheating off of? These are the people with the wrong answers? Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. I want to cheat off of Jack, who got all of a 30 on your test. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I'm Jack. I am Jack. I would have gotten a 30.
Oh, Jack. That was funny. Okay. All right. So we got question number 2. Do you feel forced to write non-POC characters to be marketable?
That's funny.
I mean, hey, it's a real question, right? It's a real question.
Bunches of no.
It's real.
No, not at all.
I did with my first book. Let's see. That was written. I started writing it in 2008. And I was thinking about, at that time, I didn't even know self-publishing was a thing. And I was looking at the market and I was noticing that there was no one on the cover that looked like me. So I thought, if I'm going to publish this thing, then I'm going to have white characters. So I wrote Blood Roses and Honeysuckles. My plan was to write a follow-up book to it, and it was going to have there was 2 characters that were mentioned in that book, and they were going to have a follow-up book, and one of those main characters was going to be Black. But I thought that maybe if I do something like this, then I'll be able to write about Black characters. But as time went on, I decided that I was going to self-publish, and then I was going to do whatever I wanted to anyway. But I wanted to finish that book first so that I could move on. So, but yeah. that was definitely a concern for me.
So for me, it was more so like every character I wrote when I started writing as a kid was always Black, because my grandmother always had like Black books in the house. So I always like, even like I was a big like Boxcar Children, Babysitter Club fan, Nancy Drew, but she was like, nah, you gonna have Mildred D. Taylor, and then you gonna have Mildred D. Taylor and Christopher Paul Curtis and Walter D. Myers. Like, you gonna have all these other people too. And so because of that, my characters were Black. Then as I got older and I started looking at trying to do traditional publishing, I like Tamara. I was like, you know, we not really. And the stuff that is selling that has Black characters is like grown stuff, like Waiting to Exhale and stuff that I can't write about. Waiting to Exhale. I'm not burning that. I don't want to light your clothes on fire. Like, I don't know how to do all that. You know, so for me, I was like, where am I gonna fit in? But I couldn't stray away from Black characters. Like, even the white characters, like somehow at the end of the story, they found out they was like a quarter Black. So like, I just couldn't do it, because I was like,
Ancestry.com.
For me, I was like, no, I'm dead serious. For me, I was like, I have to write characters that look like me, because nobody else gets to see them. Like, I'm always big on like being that thing that you don't get to see. So for me, it was like really, really like in my head that even though I want to be marketable, the inside of my heart was like, nah, they gonna be Black, girl. They gonna be Black. You could throw some Latinos in there and some Asian people in there, and I have white characters. Like, Asharia's roommates are all white, but she goes to a white university, so they're all white. You know, so there's that.
I feel like that's important to mention too. Like, I don't feel forced to write white characters, but if the character just happens to be white, that's just who they are. But it's not like, ooh, I ain't got none in my book, so maybe I should like make this one white. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So
I think that's important, because I feel like I don't think the opposite should happen. I don't think that you should write a Black character in just because you don't have Black characters.
Right,
if there's no Black characters in your book, there's just no Black characters in your book. For me, I'd rather you be like, ooh, I have a friend, Cachet, who writes books with Black characters, and I'd rather you push my book than try to create a person that you don't know how to write.
Exactly.
But I feel like with everyone trying to be politically correct, with everyone wanting to look for, you know, the new hot thing, whether it's LGBTQ, whether it's BLM or anything, you have to come to a place of authenticity, because you don't want to get to the point where you make a caricature of anybody or of any type of group or any type of ethnic background. You want to be true. So if authentically your book does not have white characters, there's nothing wrong with that. Because if there are certain, like, you, even with us not being a minority here, you can go to certain neighborhoods where there are only Black people. I have lived in said neighborhoods, and to the point where if you see a person that's not a Black person, it throws you off a little bit, like, oh, they must not be from here. Not in a negative way, but it is what it is. So I feel like when you're writing and you bring together these characters and you build these communities and these worlds, you have to be authentic, because in some spaces there will be no white people.
I agree with that 100%, because like I went to,
there are no Black people.
Exactly.
I went to a predominantly Black high school, and I kid you not, in my graduating class of like 200, 300 plus people, there were 3 white kids, Victoria, Josh, and I don't even remember the other guy's name, but it was Victoria, Josh, and one other person. It's like, they were the white kids in our grade, and that was it. Like, and it wasn't, we didn't have any classes together. We were separated most of the time, because
let me just list their names.
There's 300 people. It's like, y'all are the only ones in my grade. If we're not together, I'm not going to see you. I'm not going to have the opportunity to interact with you. So I remember when I was writing in high school, like my characters were just all Black, because that was just like my experience. But to kind of address the other part of the question is like, to be marketable, I'm gonna preface this by saying that I realize that not everybody has the same mindset as me, but I'm also like, I'm not going to write something to market it to people who I didn't write it for. And it's just like I am.
We gotta give you a round of applause though, right?
I am who I am. I have the lived experience that I have, and my lived experience is not seeing enough Black characters written authentically and where we're main characters and not just thrown off in a corner somewhere. So it's like those are the books that I want to write where we are main characters and we're important, and that's the central part of the story. And so when I go to market my book, I'm marketing it to people who also want that same thing. And if that's not what you want, that's cool. That's fine. I ain't got no problem with that. But also realize that you're not my target demographic. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect
sense.
Also why I started my own publishing company, because I realized that traditional publishing they have their own rules and I didn't want to play by them. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Facts.
No, I think that was good. I think that's good. And so with that, does anybody else have anything to say before we start our next sprint?
I was just going to say that when I started writing, I always had a Black character who had a white friend because I grew up in an Air Force brat and I was raised around. There was always white people at the schools wherever I went to. So when I came across Toni Morrison and I realized that I could actually write all Black characters, that's actually when my story started changing. And I didn't feel forced, because I was like, now I can actually write about just me and don't feel bad about the fact that there is not a white friend in there. And if I want to add in one because that character is supposed to be, then it's okay. I don't feel bad. So that's all I was going to say. No, I don't feel bored.
Yeah, I created a fictional HBCU, and I purposefully, for those of you who don't know, HBCU is a historically Black college or university. I specifically made a character. Her name is Carrie, and she's a white redhead because I wanted to talk about the experience of being a Caucasian in a predominantly Black space. Because for us, we are used to being Black in predominantly white spaces, and you don't get to see what it's like for other people. And so I wanted to explore that, and I wanted to explore the type of person that it takes to put themselves in that position. Not everyone is cut out to go to a historically Black college or university if you're not Black. It's a completely different culture. It's a completely different array of people, and it's a different world. It's completely different from a PWI. For those of you who don't know, a PWI is a predominantly white institution. But it's a completely different experience. And that was something that I wanted to create. And so I knew that to get the lessons that I wanted to get across in the story, for that character needed to be white. But that was for the story. It wasn't because I felt forced to write one. It was because I was like, this works well for the story. This is going to be a subplot that I'm going to play around with, and it's going to open people's eyes to things they didn't think about. Go ahead.
Got a question. So kind of piggybacking off of this question, the question that I want to ask you guys is, if you were to go the route of traditional publishing, I'm excluding myself from this because I had never even thought about that. But if you were to go traditional publishing and you got a deal, but the condition was you had to change one of your characters from being Black to like literally anything else, that was the condition. Like,
not doing it.
Take
I
it.
already had that situation.
Not doing it.
Answer was no, absolutely not. I walked away from the deal. I was like, no, it's not happening.
Okay, your question sparks a question for me. Have you all ever shied away from writing about the microaggressions that other people don't understand?
I had a situation.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Hold on. So LaKase, since we have a delay, I don't think we saw that you were talking. So let's let LaKase go. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. I just want to make sure everybody can be heard. So let's let LaKase go and then hold on to your question. Okay, go LaKase.
Oh, come on, internet.
Gremlins, go away.
They won't let me great today.
Gremlins, go away.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, my thing's coming in like super slow. Oh no, am I freezing? No!
Oh, yeah, you freezing.
You freezing
Okay.
live.
But we can hear you.
Oh, right. Okay, all right, Chad, go ahead.
Have you all ever shied away from writing about the microaggressions that you deal with on a day-to-day basis? Do you think, have you ever say, I don't want to talk about this experience because it may delay the audience? Or do you say, hey, this is my story. And if you don't like it, it's just not for you?
It depends on the story.
I think it depends on the story.
Yeah, I have written about it, but I think it just depends.
I think for me, I can't not write it because that's my lived experience. So I feel like I'll be inauthentic to try to shy away from it and not write it. And also, I'm kind of like one of those people where, how do I put this nicely? I don't know, if it makes you uncomfortable, like you need to be uncomfortable because that means you weren't aware of it and that's why you're uncomfortable. So like read it and be uncomfortable so that you can recognize it in real life, learn from it. Like it's not my job to make you comfortable because that goes back to the original question. I wrote this book for people who will understand it and understand where I'm coming from. If that is not you, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't read the book. I'm not saying I don't want you to read the book. But if me writing about my main character being uncomfortable because of situations that her classmates put her in or the way they address her in those little microaggressions, as you say, then I don't know. That's just kind of on you to be uncomfortable about it and to think about it and reflect and make better decisions going forward. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. Spin it how you like.
I haven't shied away from it. I think that with any character that I'm going to write, they're going to have some type of struggle that they're going to have to go through. And I think that adding those little things, those little irritants that just happen for no reason that you just have to deal with and seeing what that's about, just like adding little pieces of like Black culture into your story. Unfortunately, microaggressions is part of this American culture. Yes. And if you're writing and your story takes place here, it just, to me, it feels less authentic if you take those out.
Do you guys feel like you can take them out, like in a genuine way, to be just like, oh no, this doesn't exist in my world?
If it's a fantasy, then
yeah.
Fantasy stories, racism ain't a thing. There's like classes, stuff like that, but there's not racism. Because for me, I do need a break from it, and writing is my escape from it. So I do use that to get away from it. But like Asharia has like this thing where she's like she doesn't know that she's developing an anxiety and depression condition, but she is, and so she's been sleeping a lot. Well, one of her roommates asked her if she's pregnant. Knows nothing about her, has known her less than 2 weeks, and that's the first thing that she asked. And it's like, these are microaggressions and things that we really experience. And so I wanted to make sure that it's like did she really just ask me that? Like what would possess her to think that was an okay question? So yeah, no. Can someone define microaggressions for people who didn't grow up in the U.S.? Oh boy. Okay. So it's pretty simple. It's almost the exact definition of what it is. It's small passive things that people do that are racist. Short and simple. Racist or sexist. Right. Yeah, anything. But for our experience, we're talking about specifically about racism. But it's like
you're pretty for a Black girl.
You're pretty for a Black girl. You see so well for a Black girl. Oh, you sound so educated.
Man.
Oh, I didn't know that you were actually Black. I thought you were white.
Oh, you went to college. Oh, that's so good.
You know, I don't even think that you're really Black. Like, you don't come off that way.
You're not like other Black people.
Oh, that's
here's the point. If more Black people were like you,
then
So there you go.
Pretty for a Black girl.
Pretty for a Black girl is like, yeah, I can't even. There were a couple of questions.
Pretty to be so light or dark.
Comments that I wanted to touch on, or something that people said. I want to say someone specifically said, okay, this is one that I saw. I want to write more diversely, but I'm afraid because it's stigmatized that unless you are that type of person of color, LGBT plus, etc., you're not allowed to write it. Okay, so before we do the next sprint, I wanted to address this specifically because I saw it. No one on this screen believes that.
Not at all.
No one on this screen believes that.
In fact,
None of us would tell you that at all. I know you haven't got a chance to, but last week we did the disability stream. All the people on the screen said that they would love to see more disability representation from people who are not those that have disabilities. The only thing that we ask is that you do your research. The only thing that we ask is that you do your best to make that character as authentic as possible. If you need to interview people, if you need to hire sensitivity readers, if you need to read books by authors from those different things so you can get some better understanding, if you need to read essays or anything like that, you do that because you want to give that attention to your craft, because you want to give that much work behind it, and because you know that these people deserve that. I think that's the biggest thing for me, is when I see that someone doesn't do their research, that you don't think I'm important enough to get me right.
Yeah. And I would say do it from a place that is sincere, of like, you just want to write this character, and not coming from a place of trying to we call it trauma porn, but just like trying to sell our pain to like make a quick buck or to like romanticize it. As long as it's not coming from a place like that, or you're not doing it to try to, I guess, smother someone's voice, because okay, I can't speak for anybody else on the screen, but like as a Black writer, a lot of times we get overlooked for books by non-people of color, so that even though it's the same story. And so as long as it's not coming from a place of, oh, they wrote this story, but I could do it and just modify it a little bit and do it quote unquote better to like monopolize off of the work that we put in, I think you can write whatever you want. Like, we're all writers. Like, we all just said that we include white characters and Asian characters, disabled characters. Whether, okay, I can't speak for the disabled part, but we're not white, so we can't really. Does that make sense?
Right. No. Yeah.
Like, imagination is real. We're all writers. So
right.
I'm gonna stop talking. Sorry.
And don't just write like you're trying to fill a quota.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people feel like they're like, okay, well, everyone says that I need to write a Black character or a gay character or whatever. No, be sincere in your efforts. No one's telling you that you have to or don't have to do anything. Come from a place of sincerity and not a place of, I'm just trying to do what the trend is because that's what everybody else is doing.
And also,
that's how I feel about it.
And this is a personal thing. Don't shove all the check boxes into one character, because that's also very annoying. Like, if you have to have a diverse book and one character is Black, asexual, and blind, like, you don't have to take off all the disabilities or all the check boxes in one box. Like, that's the only thing that irritates me. Like, and I can only speak from personal experience, but like, when you watch TV and it's just like, okay, we have an entire white cast, but then we have the one Black person and they're also gay and they also have like depression and anxiety and they have the most struggles in the show, but they only show that.
And they're a shapeshifter. You forgot shapeshifter.
Somebody brought that up. Somebody brought up Princess and the Frog and Brother Bear. Like, we're tired of being animals all the time, y'all. Like, we're humans too. We're humans too, y'all. Like, that I think is a common thing. Like, there are quite a few people I know that their people of color are shapeshifters, and I was just like, you don't even realize this microaggression that you're perpetuating, that you're doing. So again, these are things that we understand that you may not know, which is why we're having this panel. And this is what we want to discuss. We want to talk about these things because, as I've seen in the 6 months I've been on AuthorTube, they're not being talked about. And I think it's because people are afraid to. And what I'm not going to do is be afraid to, because I want to see more Black characters. I want to see more books by Black writers. So I want to encourage both white writers and Black writers to do what they can to make changes in the publishing industry. Even if you're doing it through self-publishing. Like we see with Publishing Paid Me, we got a long way to go.
That was a heartbreaking hashtag.
It was.
For those of you who don't know, the hashtag publishing paid me. Please go check it out. Look at the disparities between Black writers and white writers, especially some of those that we may have heard of and know, and their advances compared to award-winning Nebula writers and whatnot. We just, yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
So Dow, I see that you talk about these things from your point of view. I mean that nobody talks about these from Black people's point of view. That's what I meant. So to make sure I'm clarifying that. You do definitely talk about own voices and disabilities. I would definitely give you that. I don't want to act like you're not.
And I think I saw in the comment that she said that she is all the check boxes. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful in any.
No, we're just talking about how. Yeah.
I just meant it in that a lot of times people will create a character and throw all of them in there without the intention of them having a purpose other than checking off the boxes. Like if that is their character and that is who they are, and they are that way because they are, that's one thing. But I'm talking about those people who write books or write stories or however, and they create characters and they just roll it all into one because they feel like they have to have diversity and it's not coming from a genuine place. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. Like I'm not trying to be disrespectful for anyone who does check off all of the boxes.
You know, how you gonna mute yourself, Cash?
Thank you so much for clarifying that. I knew what you meant, but I just appreciate you being like, hey, I just want to make sure that my words aren't misconstrued.
Yeah.
But with that, we're going to go into another sprint because it's been a while. So let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. How did everybody do? Let us know in the comments how you did. Ladies, how'd you do? The boyfriend called. He got his talk time. So that's what I was doing. What about you? All right. How did everybody do? Hey, somebody give me my watch time. I appreciate it.
It was not me.
Guys.
What y'all do? How'd y'all do?
So I am doing the natural reader thing, and it keeps saying Issa as ISA. Do you know how annoying that is? ISA walks down the hallway. Ooh. I'm like, I didn't know this girl's name was so many times in this book.
I wonder if it would do it right if you had two S's. I'm just curious if it would change it and say it, or if it would go ISSA. I'm curious now.
Or ISA.
I'll just add it in next time for science, just to see.
I appreciate that.
I got 2 pages read, and one of the pages I had to edit a sentence. So, because it didn't come out sounding right. So.
I am reformatting my novel, so I'm just editing. I'm not really writing anything new, and I'm trying to figure out the outline for the middle and end of the book.
That sounds fun.
Some switches. I'm at that my writing is trash stage.
I feel that.
I actually wrote some words this time. Praise God. I got 208 words in.
Hey.
All right. That's some progress. Yeah. So while everyone in the comments tells us how they did, LaKase, can you hear us? Okay, she's still having technical difficulties. We did get a comment from the audience, a question from the audience rather. What do you think of authors that use racial ambiguity? A Black author I follow, main character is Black, but he just describes the skin tone and gives subtle hits, yet he has mass market success. What do you guys think about that?
I have very strong opinions about that.
I feel like if it's done right, it makes people check their bias. Because when we think of cultural biases from the past and even now, like the guy that went viral found a Band-Aid in his skin tone. He was a darker skinned male, and it just, he said, I teared up. I've never been able to have a Band-Aid with my skin tone. And I feel like if done right, it's like, hey, this is my world, this is my experience. I describe him, you figure it out. I don't have to paint him like an exotic picture. This is just his everyday norm. Okay. So if the character wouldn't focus so much like on their physical or whatever, then if it's authentic, I feel like it can be done right. But for the most part, I want to clearly know what the character looks like.
For me, my perspective on that is the default is not white. And so it's like, if for me, I can't speak for nobody else, it's like, I'm Black, my default in my story is Black. So yeah. I just assume that all the characters in my, just assume that if you're reading a book by C.M. Lockhart, all the characters are Black unless stated otherwise, because that's just my default. So it's just like, I don't know, for me, sometimes if it's racial ambiguity or if it's just cultural norm where you think it is racially ambiguous because it's not explicitly stated, or if it's just one of those things where it's just like, I describe skin tone because like all of us on the stream, we have different shades. I would describe us differently if I was writing us. But for me, I wouldn't say, okay, there were 6 Black ladies on the stream. I wouldn't say that. I would just say, okay, well, you know, I'm picking Yana. Yana is the lightest one on the stream. She's got orange glasses and a red turban. That's how I would describe her. You know, I wouldn't say that, oh, she's Black. And because it's like, I feel like we can fall into
brown skin.
Yeah, we're everything from pink to ink. So you want to need some descriptors.
She said from pink to ink.
Wow. We are not having this debate.
I have never, ever, oh my gosh, y'all are hilarious. So for me, I think there are two parts of this for me. So one part is I understand you trying to get your coin. Like, I understand that. And I'm not going to knock you getting that bag. Like, I'm not. But for me, if they're racially ambiguous, it's because you don't know you about to find out they black. And they probably don't know either. That's literally it. Because again, I think for me, the thing that kind of like hit home for me was when Hunger Games came out, the movie, and everybody was pissed that Rue was black. There were people saying that they felt less sorry that character died because she was black. And at that point, for me, it was like, I'm describing my characters clearly as black, so you don't have no reason when they cast to be like, I didn't know. No, you knew. And this goes back to somebody else had a question about how I felt about J.K. Rowling saying Hermione was black. I ain't read a J.K. Rowling book, so let me just be honest and say that. But everybody I know said they didn't know she was black.
Because she wasn't.
So there we go.
I was about to say, there we go. Definitely, but Rue was definitely black in Hunger Games. I haven't read J.K. Rowling's books, so
J.K. Rowling was trying to retrofit everybody.
Yeah,
she was fitting the boxes. That's back to the quotas.
I cannot, like, I am very happy that a person that majored in classical writing is as successful as she. I cannot for the life of me get into her books. I have tried several times and failed several times.
I read the series that will not be named. However, it was just one of those things where it's just like, when that came out, I was just like, how though? But why? Right. Because like you clearly identified literally everybody else in the book, but now all of a sudden she black. When that happened? Because I don't remember that happening nowhere in the book. And it's just like, that's the type of stuff. That's just the type of stuff that's annoying, because it's just like, just say what you mean and mean what you say. Right. And you didn't write it that way, and that's cool. But I would have so much more respect for you if you were just like, that's not what I intended for her, rather than to be like, oh, well, I never said that she wasn't, but you never said that she was though. And you have characters like Cho Chang. Bruh.
But wasn't the girls from Hunger Games, wasn't her whole town black?
Yeah, exactly. That's
why it was so that's why it was so frustrating, because it was like, you guys obviously didn't read the books. And people were like saying that nobody read the books because they would know that Rue wasn't supposed to be black. And the author had to get on Twitter and was like, she was black in the book. She's always been series. Black. Yes. Like, yeah.
The entire town was black. Yeah, the entire town was black. So I was like, how did y'all miss that?
But can we also discuss just for a moment, and forgive me because, like I said, it's late and my brain is everywhere, so I kind of have no filter at this point. I apologize. But
it's going to be interesting.
Can we also talk about how all these people are up in arms for one black character that was described as black in the book, but they thought that she was white and turned her black, but they tried to make a whole movie about Harriet Tubman and cast her as a white woman? And they do this like all the time to black characters?
Well, I don't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. I don't got no tea, but it would be hot. I don't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. I'm just saying.
Ooh. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, we get up in arms. I say we, y'all, they, white people get up in arms about things where she's like, we had one character and she died. Like, and she was written that way. But we have whole characters, whole cultures just snatched from us. Right. And then we're supposed to be cool with it and enjoy the movie. Like, I'm just throwing that out there.
Right. Everybody talking about the fans. Bring out the fans. Oh, the fans. So Aaron says, Rue's description from the book is she has dark brown skin and eyes, but other than that, she's very like Prim in size and demeanor.
Right.
So, yeah. people were legit like up in arms about that. And so that's what that for me is what I was like, I'm going to clearly describe my characters so you know.
But you said something that kind of anchored me. Being that I just came from work, I felt less sorry for her that she died knowing she was Black.
Yeah, that was the tweet that got me. That was the tweet that
how do you feel?
Like I was like, this
right? A fictional Black human died. So how do you feel about the real ones?
Right.
Ooh.
I don't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. I don't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot.
Now I think you're gonna go on Amazon and add to my cart.
Mush up gave me a prop.
I'm just saying.
I don't know how to act right.
I'm about to go back to the store and get them all different colors and be like, well, today we're going to have blue. And today we're going
to... and it's going to color coordinate with your hair.
Right.
I know you thought this was going to be a fun, lighthearted question.
Child.
That is a loaded question.
That is such a loaded question, sweetheart. And I love you, but you opened it, so we're going to talk about it. So let's talk about the animalization of Black people.
Pick Chelsea.
Chelsea, I tag you.
And that's the Firefly is muted.
Okay, so to answer this, yes, I have seen it. When it came out, I was in the 9th grade. I remember because reasons, right? But I went and I watched it, and I didn't really watch the movie, right? But I heard everybody talking about it. So then I watched it as an adult. But I remember just being mad, right? Because I was like, bruh, Walt Disney been around for how long? And everybody get to be a princess, a full-blown princess, all right? And 5 minutes into the movie, this girl's a frog? Bruh. I don't understand. And then not only is she a frog, she stays a frog. Girl is eating whole fireflies in the movie. Okay. She's running through a whole swamp, right? And then she gets back and she gets married to the prince who didn't even want her in the beginning of the movie. Let's go back to that. And then after that, Prince is broke. He ain't got no money. He ain't got no castle. Where's her happy ending? She is still serving gumbo off her back porch. Bruh. Nah. I mean, it was a cute movie and all. But like, where's my happy ending?
You can't take you in this.
Baby, let's talk about hair. When you get to these princesses, so much thought is put into their hair. Whether it's the blonde hair with the perfect bangs and the bob and the bump at the end, and the hair never gets messed up in these movies. What a ham sandwich is her hair up 90% of the movie. No animators knew how to do some thick, curly, 4C, froed out hair. We could get some locks. We could get some braids. Single-leaves twists. We could get nothing.
This is the thing that made me so mad. Girl works 4 jobs. 4 jobs. Entire movie. Like, it's a meme. She falls into her bed and then her alarm clock goes off and she got it. You name me one other princess that worked that hard. One.
Name me one other princess who put I don't know.
Name me one princess who at the end of the movie, she's happy that she still got to work every day the rest of her life.
Like, it's so that movie is the definition of a microaggression.
Now she's happy to work every day for the rest of her life. That took me out.
If a microaggression was a movie, it would be The Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog, the whole movie.
And microaggression. You want to know?
I ain't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. I said I ain't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. I'm gonna put out a mixtape, and that's gonna be a good.
That's gonna be the only song.
That's gonna be the only song. It's gonna be a good 50 minutes long, but y'all gonna be like, I don't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot.
But then,
like, for real.
Since we still talking about it, I got 2 more things I'm gonna complain about. Then I'm gonna just refrain in my space.
But the positive
okay.
music was good, right? What about the music? Just the positive.
Right.
That elevator was getting it, baby.
I would say, no matter what you look like, hey, no matter, yeah, hey, when Granny was up in that tree getting it,
all right,
hey, can't nobody get Ray. Ray stole the show.
Ray did,
Right?
Ray stole the show. Him and Evangeline. Yeah, they stole the show.
Yeah.
I was more in love with their love story, and she a firefly and a star. I was more in love with their love story than the Princess and the Frog.
There we go. That part. But can we also talk about the part where that like she gets all the money together and then she goes and the two white guys are like, oh no, we gave it to somebody else. Y'all want to know microaggression? There you go. Clear example. You do the right thing, you follow all the rules, and then at the last moment, your dream is snatched from you for no reason of your own. There you go.
I ain't got no tea. It would be hot.
But then also, in the chat, they brought up also, can we talk about the white saviorness in the movie? Like her whole life comes together because her mom cleans house and takes care of the rich white people in town, and that she only gets her dream because literally her white friend comes in and is literally throwing money at her for her to do what she wants her to do. And then her friend gets mad at her, throws a whole temper tantrum because the prince doesn't want to be with her. Are we gonna skip over that part? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
No, we're not. Because that's a definite thing. The white savior complex is definitely a thing, and I don't think people realize that even that in itself is a microaggression.
It is.
Like the fact that it's like with everything that she did on her own, she still wasn't able to reach her goal on her own. Her friend had to be the one to save the day.
And also,
Grace made a good point about Grace said about the voodoo, how voodoo was seen as a villainy, and really, that story gets kind of old with making what he said. But also, I couldn't stand seeing voodoo being used via villainy as per usual. It's always shown in such a negative light.
There's also that.
I don't practice voodoo, but I am kind of seeing that where voodoo is used to just destroy everybody's life per a villain. Like from what I hear that it has its goods and its bad. So why can we never see it in a positive light? That's just my thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go back over here with my stomping while y'all play.
But I have a question for y'all. Like, if we took the prince out the whole movie, right? Because he's lighthearted compared to her, and would the movie actually change at all?
No.
If she didn't have
another thing, it's funny you bring up the prince because I felt like with all of the other movies, the men. Because we focus on the princess in these, the men are very clear. I am here. This is my role to protect, to serve, and to be here for you. Mm-hmm. He was just flapping in the flipping wind. Like he
ain't had no job, he ain't had no money, and he ain't had no castle. How's he
to be a man? She basically led their union, and I'm sick of that too.
She had to raise him, but but to I'm gonna say my little piece, and I'm gonna stop. I did like it. My favorite song is I'm Almost There, because sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. So I put on my little tea and I'm almost there.
Yes.
I'm almost there. And I get my little day going. And that's it. But all in all, despite everything that's wrong with it, I did enjoy the movie because, I mean, like, it's still the only princess that looks like me. And
right. And
I'm not going to lie. So it came out around my birthday. I was turning 19. I was in there with a purple and green jacket on. And I was in there crying because at 19 years old, it was the first time in my life I saw a Black Disney princess.
Yep.
As much as there were so many different things about it, that moment was a huge moment for me because I remember honestly, no, I don't know about the rest of y'all. The closest thing I ever had to a Black Disney princess was Nala, and she was a dang cat. That was the closest thing for me.
I was gonna say when I was young, it was like Jasmine or Pocahontas, but I mean we know that Pocahontas was Indian, but other than that, I know it used to be Jasmine. You little Black girls used to look up to. So when I saw Tiana, I was in love, but of course I didn't like how the storyline. I was like, why has it got to be during this time period? Why can't she even if it was, why can't she be like the other princesses? But I still loved her.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I like my whole thing was that she just had to work. I'm like, Cinderella, you can bet she wasn't going to the castle to go clean floors. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right, not after everything.
And it's just, I feel like that plays into a larger thing of how, as Black girls and Black women, we're just expected to take whatever they give us and be happy with it, even if it's not what we deserve.
Because even look at the people around Tiana. Pocahontas had her tribe. Cinderella, I mean, she had a family around her. Tiana had nobody.
She had nobody.
She didn't have a neighbor. She didn't have an auntie, a grandma. Nobody.
She had a mom.
How was that even possible?
You see her mom, like what?
She had her mom.
She became an animal.
Her mom in the very beginning and then at the end, but that's it.
Yeah.
And the fact that she didn't have her dad, and I'm just like, but why? Like,
her dad died in the war. Yeah.
But I don't know.
You took all of that away.
Even at the beginning, when she's wishing on a star, he's like, yeah, you can wish, but it still takes hard work. Like, girl, not even allowed to have dreams, y'all. She's told to work from the day that she is born.
No, like it is, and I think that that's the thing that people don't realize. So the one thing about the movie that sticks out to me as an adult that I didn't see as a kid was that during the movie, it focused on struggle. Mm-hmm. The focus was still Black struggle, and for me, and Jesus never went to college. Asharia comes from a 2-parent home. Both of her parents are college graduates. She has never known the hood or anything like that. Not because that's not my story, but because I'm tired of that being the story that we portray all the time. I'm tired of that being the only thing people think. I say it and I'll say it again. My Black is not a monolith. Mm-mm. It is not. And that was one thing that stood out to me about that, is it was like this entire time is a struggle for her. And I hated that about it.
And she's so focused on her struggle the entire time. Like, the girl doesn't go out. She doesn't have friends. She doesn't laugh. She doesn't enjoy anything. Like, her entire life is literally working. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm struggling. And then a man finally comes into her life. He's not even going after her. He's going after her friend, and she's expected to settle for that. And then even when she's turned into a frog, he does nothing but mock her the entire movie and be like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Man does not have a hardworking bone in his body. But this woman who's determined, is just supposed to be like, okay, yeah, we're going to live happily ever after, living in my mama's house, serving gumbo off the back porch. And it's just like, there's nothing wrong with that in a sense. But it's like, when you think Disney princess, that is not the storyline that comes to mind. And I could rant, and I'm going to pause myself right there and prevent myself from doing that further. My whole thing was, it's not fair. It's not fair that she did not get to truly be a princess, that she wasn't able to be whisked away. Like, even if she did have her restaurant and she wanted to cook because that's what makes her happy, it shouldn't have been a thing of she still has to because of the person that she wants to be with. It shouldn't have to be a thing that she had to raise him. It shouldn't have to be a thing of he settled for her. You see what I'm saying?
Or that she had no community, or that nobody was there for her. Like, it's just so much going on with that.
Right.
Yeah. And the fact that they also tried to like lighten her skin tone when they did the revamped version of it, when they were re-releasing all the DVDs, they try to lighten her up like 3 shades. So I'll make fun of y'all just a little bit. They try to take her from Cachet to Tamara, and everybody was like, whoa, pause. What are y'all doing? You can't do that.
Yeah, that's a big jump. I didn't see that. That's a huge jump.
Oh yeah, there were petitions and stuff all over the internet. Like, please don't do this, y'all. Please do not do this.
Right.
Wow.
Grayson says it seems like that while I was so obsessed with writing a fantasy with Black characters. I wanted Black kings and queens, Black magic users, both parents being alive and happy ending. I needed it. That is so me. So me. Like, I need to see that. I want to see that. I want that to be a thing. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And so Bookish Obsession said they want me to sing it one more time. Ladies, y'all got your fans? Y'all ready?
I ain't got no fan, but I'm clapping.
I ain't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. I ain't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. I said, I ain't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. I ain't got no tea, but if I did, it would be hot.
We gotta follow.
Hopefully that was long enough for you to record it. I hope so.
Aphrodite brought up a good point. She said, and she didn't get to live in a castle.
Yeah.
No castle.
There's something that Leora was saying about Disney princesses having friends. That may be true. And she had a friend, quote unquote, but I wouldn't call that girl a friend because she wasn't a friend. She wasn't really there for her.
Pocahontas definitely had a friend. Pocahontas definitely had a friend. It was just not her and her raccoon. She definitely had a friend. Mulan had 3 friends. I'm just saying, like, let's just be real. Like, I'm a Disney fan.
Snow White has 7 dwarves.
That's part. And those are questionable. We're gonna question that. But anyway,
you know what? I'm glad you brought up Snow White because even Snow White got people coming after. Snow White got goons after her, and there are these men that aren't even above a foot tall here to protect her. 7 of them.
Can we talk about? And I don't know how much shade or flack I'm gonna catch for this. Can we talk about how none of the other princesses had a skill except for the talking to animals? That was literally their only skill. There's a whole movie, Ariel, the Little Mermaid. She does not talk the majority of the movie because she ain't got no voice. They have no talent but standing there and looking pretty.
We're not going to attack Little Mermaid now.
I love the Little Mermaid. I do. However, the facts are she doesn't have a voice for most of the movie.
We're gonna leave that one alone. No,
yeah,
but no.
Man, you know not to mess with no octopus, man. Or squid or whatever she was. You know not to mess with that.
Have y'all seen Ursula's?
Ursula don't look like somebody you want to play with. Ursula look like she got hands for days. Like Ursula look like
Ursula don't even have hands and she got hands.
And then ask you if you want a round 2. Like that's what Ursula looked like to me.
But Ursula wasn't even a villain, y'all. Like she told Ariel, like, hi, people come to me for help. I help them. They don't hold up their end of the deal, so I take their souls. That's how this works. So if you want to go to land, I'm going to take your voice. Like you don't get nothing for nothing. So there's a price. Now I'm a busy woman. Make your choice. She did not trick Ariel. She ain't force her to sign nothing. She ain't hide the fine print. She said, if you don't get him to kiss you like a real kiss, she even clarified that it couldn't be a little peck on the cheek. Like it had to be a full blown, I'm in love with you kiss by the 3rd day. Or I'm gonna take your soul and you're gonna be one of these little worms living at the bottom of my cave. She was perfectly clear, and Ariel was the one who signed it. All I know, I just want to point that out. Ursula is not actually a villain. She's a businesswoman. All right, she did a contract.
I feel like you just tried to make Ursula Madam C.J. Walker on the low. Like I don't even understand. I'm so confused. Like she's a businesswoman. How do we do that? She was running a Fortune 500 company. She was running a Fortune 500. Like,
she wasn't even sneaky with it. And I feel like when I watched it as a kid, I was so mad at Ursula. I was like, how can you do that to Ariel? Nah, bro. Ariel was 16 and she made some bad decisions. She wasn't legally allowed to sign that contract. She did it anyway.
You thought you was grown. You thought. So we had another question that kind of disappeared from the chat, but it was a question about how do we feel about Black dialect in books? So or for the more correct term, AAVE, African American Vernacular English, how do you feel about that in writing?
I think if it fits the character, it should definitely be like it's a character that is trying to show their intelligence, that they're higher than everybody, then they wouldn't use that necessarily. But if it's an everyday character who doesn't know how to code switch, then go ahead, use it. But then many of us know how to code switch, so you can use it back and forth. It depends on the character.
It depends on the character and also the situation, because like the way that I talk that way pretty much with everyone. And that's part of that goes back to our earlier conversation about microaggressions of, oh, you talk so proper. Like, why don't you speak like that? We use contractions here. Oh, I'm so sorry that I read a book before and this is how I talk. This is how my parents taught me to talk. I am so sorry that this offends you somehow.
I'm sorry, I read a book before. Oh, Lord Jesus.
But I mean that in the way of like, I know how to. It's just I choose not to because that's just not who I am. But that's why I say it has to fit like the character and where they're at, because I ain't gonna speak for everybody, But from the people that I've met in my life, the way that they speak at home, in the hallways, in the classrooms, in their regular life is not the same way that they speak to people that they respect. And I'm not gonna say people of authority necessarily, like teachers, but people that they respect and they want them to think a certain way about them. They know how to turn it off. So the only time I don't like it in books is when you have someone who isn't code switching, because I've never seen anyone not code switch in my personal experience.
Right. And I think that's something that I think isn't talked. So for those of you who don't know, code switching is when you adjust the way that you behave, speak, and do things to fit the area. Usually it's for, it's in the way to make Caucasian people more comfortable.
And I know I code switch all the time. I didn't learn how to code switch.
That was 90s.
Right. Like that is usually that is what it's called, and that's usually what it is. And in stories, when I see a Black character speaking improperly to a group of white people, in my head, it's not realistic.
Yeah.
Because that's not usually what happens unless they're super duper close. Yeah. I'll say stuff like, "Oh, y'all know I be tripping." I know that the correct sentence is sometimes I misunderstand and make some mistakes in the words that I use. I know how to speak properly. I was taught well, like Chelsea said. Like, I know what I'm saying, but there is a difference in what I'm saying with who I'm comfortable with, and in a situation that I'm comfortable with saying. Like, that's just it. Like, I guarantee you, in a classroom, or when I'm, talking to a professor, or I'm talking with other students in my class, a be don't come before a verb ever.
You don't be doing nothing.
I don't be doing anything at all. So I think that is very important to know, one, when it's good for the character. It needs to be authentic, as Ann Hawkins is saying. It definitely needs to be authentic for that person. And I also think the best way to guarantee is to look at sensitivity readers. Is to ask those Black people that you have around you. Because you could think that it is completely small. It's not an issue. It's not a thing. And every Black person who reads it could feel a certain type of way by it. It happens. Because trust me, I guarantee we screenshot and we show it to each other like, look at what this person just wrote.
Am I the only one that gets defended when I see, like, when they try to have Black characters speak Black, that they sound almost like
yes. When I look at stories,
real ignorant,
Joe Jamal, and not be, and
it's like, no, not all of us talk like that. And that really sounds like, what Black person have you come across that speaks like that?
The thing that gets me is the way it's actually written. Like, there are letters missing and stuff. And it's more about the grammar and what they say versus how you spell it. Like, that's the thing that gets me, because when I start seeing letters missing and apostrophes all over the place, and
right, that's what I would mean. Like,
I think that in the middle of your book writing, you were starting to have a stroke, and I should get you some attention. Like, what is happening?
And it has to be consistent. Like, I hate it when that shows up for like all of 2 lines, and the next time that character speaks, they're back to speaking proper because you got tired of writing them like that.
Right.
Like, either go all in or don't do it.
Go hard or go home.
Right?
Exactly.
Be about it or don't do it.
If I gotta throw my brain in a circle to figure out what your character said, you chose the wrong word.
First of all, did she say if I gotta throw my brain in a circle? Can we just stop right quick? Can we just stop? Because she said throw my brain in a circle. I throw that brain in a circle. Throw that brain in a circle.
It's funny. It's funny you all bring up dialogue. I work in a place that is just, oh my goodness, the translation and the toning down and the inner monologues I have to have with myself are on a 12 out of 2. So my son called me. I have a 9-year-old, and my son, he speaks like his mother and his father. He speaks proper English, like most children, unbeknownst to mass cultures. So he called and he asked me something. I always tell him, son, don't call me if it's not an emergency. In my son's mind, where the remote is, if he can have a snack, if he can watch a movie, those are emergencies.
Oh,
and if I don't pick up, he will call back to back to back. So I picked up the phone, and because he doesn't have a cell phone, he only can access me on Kid Messenger, he FaceTimes me. So I picked up the phone and he said, Mom, can I such and such and such and such? So one of the lieutenants was behind me. He said, is that your kid? I'm like, do you normally speak to 9-year-olds that don't belong to you? So me and him, I have to take this man in small doses. Small doses. Very small. And he said with a straight face, he speaks so well to be your kid. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I know how you speak here. I said, I speak to the understanding of my audience. So just because I have a Southwest Atlanta vernacular and you have a redneck vernacular, that does not mean that we're not both speaking English. So he turned beet red. He said, did you just say I speak like a redneck? I said, did you just say I speak like a slave? He walked out of the room.
I ain't got no kids. If a kid, it would be hot. It would be hot.
Wow. Hey, first of all, I was done when you were like, do you normally talk to 9-year-olds who are not yours? Like, that is such a legitimate question.
Who child would I be talking to?
Grapevine said, like, this child literally just called me mom. What you think?
I snatched him, bro, off the street. I don't know him.
No, I'm throwing him in head.
Can we talk about the fact that Anne Hawkins says throwing brains in a circle is sexy?
Oh, God.
That gotta be your boyfriend.
That's definitely my boyfriend.
Okay, hey, yo, bro, she taking, bro. I just want you to know she taking, bro. Like, we
disrespectful, right? I say you being real disrespectful, sir. Now she.
I'm about to amp him all the way up because he's gonna be like, "Oh, everybody know about me."
Yeah, everybody know. Everybody know. Shanita put
everybody in the room, y'all.
She says the only time I accept writing like that is when reading Zora Neale Hurston. In my opinion, she perfectly captures how Black people spoke to one another in the 1930s. So this is something that I've noticed in writing. It seems like that's where writers stop when it comes to Black vernacular. Mm-hmm. Like they stop in older time frames. So when words like that, where the G's are hanging off and things like that, when that is a more common thing back in those time frames, just like my man. Don't nobody say my man no more. That is something that y'all got in the like 70s and 80s from movies that y'all think that Black people say to each other and Black men say to each other whenever they see each other. They don't. It's not a thing. It don't happen no more.
It's not a thing.
You know, it don't. It don't. But in TVs and movies, there's always a Black dude getting met with a white dude, and the white dude's like, "What's up, my man? Hi, my man. Hey, my man." Like, it's a thing. And it's like, but it's because you've reached the stalling point when it comes to actually researching your characters, when it comes to actually understanding what you're doing. And so just like that, there are times like that, there are things like that you have to be aware of when you're writing your characters, when you're working on their dialogue. You have to understand that me coming from Oklahoma, I'm going to sound different from Trap, who's from Atlanta, or I'm going to sound different from Yana, who's from North Carolina, or I'm going to sound different from Tamara, who's from West Virginia, or Chelsea, who's from North Carolina, right? You're from North Carolina, right? Yeah. So we're all going to sound different. We're going to have different words. We're going to say different things. We could have 10 different words that mean the same thing because of the region that we're in. Like, that's something else that you have to pay attention to. So when you're writing that dialogue, just make sure that, again, I think bottom line, it goes back to research. It goes back to understanding.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chelsea. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback off of that and just say, and don't do it for like the wow factor, because I feel like a lot of times people stop at those time periods because it's so overtly different And it's just like, oh, like we've been talking, like a lot of us don't even really actually speak like that in real life. And it's more of what we say than like the actual, like, I'm like Cachet said, I ain't never seen nobody say my man unless you actually my man and I'm finna date you or like mine.
Right.
In which case, I like me personally, I'm more likely to call you a term of endearment than to be like, oh, this is my man. No, I'm gonna call you by your role. This is my boyfriend, this is my husband, this is my fiance. Like I'm very rarely gonna come out of my mouth with like, oh, that's my man. Unless you a little trick and you trying to be fresh and I have to check you real quick. But other than that, like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like he's with me, ain't he? Like what I say all that to say. Sorry.
Caitlin said, does that make my boyfriend old fashioned because he says my man a lot? Yep, I would definitely be like, oh, you a throwback. You a throwback. Where are you sliding in from?
And throwbacks are cool when it's intentional. Like if you say groovy for intentional purposes, I don't know who says that, but if that's what you do, then that's just a trait of your character. But if your book is set in 2020, ain't nobody walking around like, yeah, man, that's so man. Don't do that. Don't stop it.
Y'all, speaking of throwbacks, why my silly self can't figure out how to respond to a comment?
Okay, so you gotta do it. You gotta do it in YouTube. You gotta do it in YouTube.
Oh,
you gotta do it in YouTube. It's fine.
This
it's
4
fine.
gigabytes of RAM works with this one program.
Just do what I'm doing.
You can't pull up YouTube.
Just do what I'm doing. Just use the phone. Just use your phone.
I'm just gonna use my phone.
Grayson talking about we need beanies too. Okay, so you trying to get me to crochet them too? Like, come on, like Grayson, I can only do just a little bit. I can't do a lot.
Aphrodite, there's
all right.
Still saying groovy. It's all right.
It's okay.
Aphrodite, I still say groovy. Aphrodite, that's okay because you a groovy lady,
right?
Let's groove tonight.
Now I'm gonna go listen to that while we go on the next friend.
I don't know the words. I know the beat to the song. Oh my goodness. Oh
okay,
my goodness.
so I just want to say this. I'm not personally attacking nobody if you use the word groovy. It was just an example because my dad did that. It's so corny. And I'm just like, I just don't. I mean, 20 years in the future.
I mean, even you, when you said trick, like if a trick come your man's way, I say thought. But that's about it because she is going to be an afterthought after I deal with it.
Right? Okay, she's going to be okay.
She said what she was friendly. So that's not what I would normally
dope say. Is my word. Dope is my word. I'm bringing it back. I don't care what nobody say. Dope is my word.
I say everything.
You ain't bringing it back.
I say bruh like all the time. That's like my cat.
Oh, bruh is my thing. Bruh is my thing. Bruh.
I definitely
Chat remembers that. I used to do that all the time. Bruh, let me tell y'all about my day. It'd be a long string of yous, like for real. And that is hilarious. Okay, y'all, we have definitely went over time. How do y'all feel about another sprint before we call it a night?
Hey,
I'm cool.
I'm down.
Because you know, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Chelsea, you down?
It's 11:30.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you gotta tap out, you gotta tap out. I understand. If you gotta tap out, you can say your goodbyes here.
I don't want to be the weakest link. I'll do another one.
Because I will be now. I gotta say it if you leave. I gotta be like, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I don't want to get voted off the island. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stay.
My YouTube is not YouTubing. There we. Oh man, I figured it out. Look at that.
LC says, "I hate the vernacular awesome sauce."
I use awesome sometimes. Awesome sauce. So it just depends on how you say it.
No.
I like it.
Barbara is laughing at Chelsea with her disclaimers.
Right.
Like, hey y'all, just I'm not picking on nobody. I swear I'm not. It's awesome. Ashley says Tamara's faces are the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was sitting here watching her the whole night.
Yes. Every time she'd be like, ooh. Oh, Elsie Clemens is tapping out. The husband says he's ready to sleep. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and get to bed, girl. I understand. You know what? First of all,
That's not what I was thinking, but behave.
all y'all are just something else.
I
Just
was
something
gonna say I understand that because it's like, hey, it's time for us to go to bed. Fine, all right, we going to bed. I'm grown. I'm still grown. I'm going to bed.
I'm still
You gonna tell me what to do.
Going to bed at like 7:00 and having nobody tell you that you have to. Nothing to do tomorrow. It's just you're tired. That's the grownest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Man, you know, it's almost 7 here.
Being grown is overrated.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost it's
Nicole
12:30.
package just arrived. Yay!
Good.
Yay!
All right, Caitlin says she has to tap out too. I completely understand. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you think we're awesome and you love us. We appreciate it.
Quiet
Oh,
adventure.
and look who figured out how to use the comments. Look at her. She figured out how to use the comments.
With the avatar that looked better than I have ever looked in life.
Then
That's
waves
your
is just something else right there. They're like waves on the side. I'm like, okay, let me see them curls do their thing.
Quiet adventurer. Remember, you can always watch any of these replays.
Right, you can. And I promise these last 2 streams have been more discussion because of the panels. But on the other ones, you definitely get your 4 to 5 sprints in, I guarantee you. Aphrodite says we're taking her breath away.
We don't want to do that.
Sis said, right, we did 10K Sunday and we was writing the whole time. Sis says, I love the chatting more than the sprinting. Going to bed at 7, not because you have something to do tomorrow, but because you're tired is the most grown thing you can do. I relate.
You feel me though?
Yay, Aphrodite, I'm glad you got this. I'm glad you got this.
I wish I could go to bed at 7.
Right, man.
Like
I take a nap at 7.
From
Taking a nap. But I'm not going to bed.
At 7, my kids are standing over me like, you know, what we doing.
DK is back. You done working? I know you were working a minute ago. All right, let's get this up. All right, so I will put the last question up. Yeah, I'll put the last question up. Yep, it's for us to think about during the sprint, so we can ask it on our way out the door. See, I got it. We'll get out of here. We'll get out of here on time. Kind of.
We ain't on time.
Kind of. It's okay. 3 sprints is better than none, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a wonderful time.
Awesome. Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. How did everybody do? I bet that was a fast 20 minutes, wasn't it? Felt fast to me. I was over here like, ooh, let me turn my camera back on. It's about time for me to get ready to say something. How'd y'all do?
I hate revision.
Yeah, editing is like everybody's least favorite part.
I did okay. I got my streak for the word. So technically I have 1 day completed. So I'm okay with that.
I don't even know. I gotta look. Give me a moment.
What's going on? I hear something going on. Am I tripping? Do y'all hear that?
I hear it, but it's not.
I hear it, but I wasn't sure what it was.
I wasn't sure where it was coming from.
Watching my show.
Yeah, Victor, we can hear you. Yeah, Victor, we can hear you.
Nicole, yes, I want some pork adobo. Yeah,
I got
sure do. That sounds delicious.
I got 2 pages or 2 pages read anyway and edited.
Oh, awesome.
Whoop.
Future Meek said, I'm so glad I found your channel in time for this sprint. Best decision I made in a while. That's awesome. A Book of Recession says, this is my first of yours live streams I've ever joined, and this is the most fun I've ever had, to be honest. That's awesome. That makes me feel so fantastic. So you guys, for the answer to the question, what aspects of Black culture come into play when you're world building?
Community.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Religion or spirituality, depending on character.
Food.
Yes. Because in the first scene in my book, we're eating.
Food and hair. Food, hair, family, community.
Yeah, food, community, family, spirituality. Those are almost always in my books. Like Asharia cooks breakfast for her and her roommates in like chapter 2 of the book. Like it's a thing. It's a thing. She like, I'm hungry. I'm trying to make sure I make friends. So, everybody like to eat. So yeah.
Everybody likes to eat.
Food and culture, because as Black people, we come from, even though we all share like similar aspects, we all have different ways of doing things. Like Black people in America don't do everything that Black people in the Caribbean do. So food and definitely culture, like what their background is, where they coming from.
Same thing for food, because at first I didn't realize it, but now when I think about it, everything I write, there's always a scene where there's food and they're eating together. So
food is universal. It's like that thing that we use to show that we love or that we're mourning or something. We're just wanting people to come over.
Yeah. So
because food is everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So
food is everywhere. Like we bring food to graduation parties, funerals, weddings, baby showers, wedding showers.
I'm about to say, if you come to my house, I'm feeding you. You hungry? No, I just ate. No, you hungry. You hungry.
I got something for you. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's something you can eat in here, I promise.
Right. I'll run through my whole pantry knowing I ain't got nothing in there. But if you say that you're hungry, I got you.
I'm about to put something together. Right.
Like we got butter and we got something that I can make with butter. I will make you
I'll make you a grilled cheese. You want a grilled cheese?
Right. I can make you some toast.
But you will eat, apparently.
But you will eat this stuff.
Goodness,
Best toast I've ever had.
I have a co-worker and she keeps trying to share food. But I'm not confident in her hand washing abilities. And
first,
I think I've come up with every creative way to say, I'm fine. It's okay.
I love that we all collectively understood exactly where this was going. Like, you don't eat food from everybody's house.
Eat everybody.
That's the
that
thing.
Is not one thing. Like
I
you
was
don't
taught
do
that from an
that.
early age. Yeah, don't eat everybody's food.
You don't.
Mhm.
Nah. Potlucks? Do I know you?
No.
I ain't that hungry. I just brought food, and I'm gonna eat what I brought.
I am always the person. Can we purchase food? Can everybody buy food? Can we buy food?
I
Can
never
we not make it home?
As
Can
long
we-
as I see
okay.
you opening something that was sealed, like a chip bag
Yeah.
or something like that, or you ripping the plastic off of your potato salad, okay, maybe. But don't
Yeah.
bring me that in the
Ooh,
bowl.
homemade potato salad. You got what did the prince say? He said she probably put raisins in it. No, we don't want no raisins in it. We don't want no raisins in our. We don't want no raisins in it.
Nah.
I'm just saying. Wakanda, the king of Wakanda said, "We don't want no raisins in it." She
No
probably
raisins.
raisins.
No raisins.
No
raisins.
Please.
Oh hell no, Karen. That's what he said. One of my favorite Saturday Night Live. Actually, okay, my favorite Black Jeopardy Saturday Night Live skit is the one with Tom Hanks. The one with Tom Hanks is hilarious. If you have not seen it,
Yeah, that
it
one was
will give you so many giggles. I promise you. One of them he's Tom Hanks in, but it's hilarious. It's the funniest one because they surprised at how many he get right, and then they add the last one is like for Double Jeopardy questions. Lives that matter. And he says, I got something to say on that. And Keenan's like, yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. It is hilarious. It's hilarious. So Barbara says connectedness. How in real life we nod and acknowledge each other when we see another Black person in a predominantly white space. I see you is what I call it. Okay, hold on. Am I the only one who get mad when you nod at a Black person and they don't nod you back? Okay. I feel some type of way. That is disrespectful.
Let me be like,
I have a story.
You don't see me? You don't
I
see
have
me?
a story for that. I was at a conference and it was me. It was a predominantly white conference. It was me and I saw another group of Black people. I gave the head nod. Hey, what's up? They looked at me. They were like, oh, so we're not head nodding? That's why you about to walk around this whole conference being lost because I know exactly where I'm going. Bye. You better head nod.
Yeah, nah. If I give you the what's up, and I'll be like, yeah, I see you. It is because it's I see you. We both here. We see each other.
Right.
You don't see me as big and as Black as I am. You don't see me.
You don't see me? Okay, fine. Then get lost.
Do y'all feel like there's a difference between being like and versus being like?
Yeah, when it's an older person, I nod. When it's an older person, I nod. When it's a young person, I'm like, yeah, what's up? Like, yeah.
I see you.
There's a difference in the head nod.
There's a difference.
Respect to the head nods. There's respect to the head nods.
But have y'all ever seen the looks that other people give you when they don't understand what's happening? Like you walk into a room and there's like 10 people, but there's only like one Black person.
That's why they think we all know each other. I'm convinced that's why they think we all know each other because we always nod to each other. I'm convinced that's why. And I'm like, nah, they just Black. That's it. I don't know his name. I ain't never seen him before in my life. I probably ain't never gonna see him again.
Right? I can't tell you from Adam's brother. I don't know who he is, but I mean, he nodded, I nodded, we kept going.
My friend was stationed in Iowa for his job. He was in a car, y'all, and he was passing someone Black in a car. They both pulled over and got out of the car.
But like, when you're in predominantly white spaces, seeing other Black people is so serious. Because in the last apartment complex that me and my husband lived at, we were walking our dog, minding our whole business, right? We look forward, we watch our dog.
Not a quarter of it, but the whole thing.
The whole thing, mind our whole business. And we walk it over here, and they're like, hey! And we turn, and some Black people in the car, we're like, hey! And then they go on, they mind their business. And I remember like we were walking and there's this lady. She wasn't white. I want to say she was like Asian or like maybe from the Philippines. She was darker and had like Asian features, but I don't know where she was from. We weren't close enough like that. However, she was like, oh, I didn't know that you guys knew each other. I was like, I have no idea who those people are.
I'm not gonna lie. So I used to live in Plano, and Plano is definitely predominantly white in Texas. And there's a neighborhood Walmart up the street from my house. And one day I went in there, and it was like 4 black people in there. We all saw each other and stopped and just started saying what's up, shaking hands like, I ain't never seen you. You live around here? Like, they're like having real full-fledged conversations. Like, yeah, I've been here for 6 months and I've never seen another black person this time. I've been here for a year. Really? Like real conversations. And like whenever we saw each other in Walmart, hey, what's up? How you doing? Oh, you don't got your kids today? They couldn't tell you their name, nothing. But because we were in spaces where we didn't see people that looked like us, we found this reason to connect. So I think that's awesome. Awesome.
I didn't realize it's a part of our culture, not saying each other's names, until I had children, and they would make friends and play with these kids all day. What's their name? I don't know, Mom. We'll play with these kids. Hey, man, like they don't ask.
People we do that.
I don't know.
Y'all like, because people get real finicky. You ask their name. What you want my government for? Okay, pause. I just wanted to know what to call you. I'm sorry. I didn't think it was that big a deal. I don't work for the FBI, I swear. Like, I don't know why it was that big a deal, but okay.
Yeah. It's weird to ask somebody their name. It's like, hi, how are you? It's like, I'm fine. It's like, hi, I'm Chelsea. Nice to meet you, Chelsea. And you are? Why?
I give all types. I just give whole nother name. I'm like, I don't know you, so I'm just going my name Lisa today. My name Lisa.
Not Lisa. Not you making up aliases.
Alias Monica. If I'm
unless of course we close, then I'm like, okay, I'll give you my name. But if we're not my name Lisa, it's Susan today. Susan. Yes, my mama was very old fashioned. It was Susan, and then
you don't look like nobody Susan.
Nobody.
I wish you would have told me your name was Susan. I'd have been like, you lying. I wouldn't even believe you.
I'm like, she liked that Whitney Houston song, you know. My name is not Susan.
My name is not Susan.
My name is Susan today.
Wow. Y'all are too much. Nicole says how supportive, welcoming, and loyalty to friends. Also, the heart they put in their passion and how understanding they are of other races. That ain't a word.
Yeah, because I think we talked about that one time. It's a genetic thing. No matter how much hatred and abuse we receive throughout each generation, we still want to accept others. We still want to be given to others. We still want to share with others and be loving toward others. And I think, one, it's one of our positive traits, and two, it's a flaw as well.
So I don't know who Spicy Kicks is, but thank you. Just wanted to stop by to get nothing but love and peace vibes to my amazing.
I like that name though, Spicy Kicks.
I know, Spicy Kicks. Man. As an Asian American, we support all of you and are right there next to you with every step. We appreciate that. We do.
Absolutely.
Sid says, I always say my name is Jordan until I figure out the cool people's. Karen says, I'm like that when people ask for my phone number.
I just say 7.
Yeah.
Travis said, hit him with that. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? Ashley said, I went to a PWI. When I tell you I made friends with every black girl I could, and it's funny because the first 2 girls I made friends with were from the same state as me. I got that spidey sense. Sid said the cutest thing happened to me. I was in New Hampshire and I was with my aunt who's white, and a little black boy just smiled and waved at me, and she said that he was excited to see another black person. Yeah, that's the true thing. Oh, that's so sweet. She says, when I got my ancestry DNA test done, it made me want to build a world where my African ancestry and my African American culture could be weaved together to create the world I wish I gotten a chance to see. Okay, on that is why I cried when they flew into Wakanda in the Black Panther. As they were flying in, tears just started falling from my face, just imagining what it would have been like to have that home my entire life. It was just a life-changing thing just to see in film this place where Africa doesn't look like this rotting bad place. You know what I mean? Like when we see pictures, we always see, half-naked kids with big bellies looking like they ain't ate it forever, and we always see the negative side. And being able to see that like was just, oh my gosh, I wish I had that history. I wish I knew that. So I completely understand that, Shanita.
I
Completely.
absolutely
And
cried
that's
too.
the crazy part, because Africa is, a lot of the cities are very well built.
Right, they
More
are.
beautiful than anything America could ever build. So for them to keep showing us this small portion just to make us think that it's run down, it's like, no, a lot of places look like Wakanda. They're just that big and beautiful.
It's the same reason why, like, we live in America and people want to act like poverty is such a strange thing for so many people. Like,
Right.
no, a lot of people live this way. They have to, but also that's a different conversation. But while we're on the topic of Black Panther, can we talk about how relatable Killmonger was?
Man,
Like,
man, you know why? Because he was African American.
Because he was us. He wanted to be from Wakanda, and that was our history, and it was taken from us. And it's like, y'all out here and y'all not helping the rest of us.
Y'all don't want us.
Decided that we weren't worth it.
Back. Come on now, like,
Right?
yeah,
Auntie.
Like,
right? Hey,
Hey,
auntie.
I want to say
Is this your thing? Okay.
right after that movie, the first thing that my son did, he went around and changed all like his little. They have like a kids messenger. He went around and he changed it to Killmonger, and I was just like, "Really? You're doing that?" He's like, I related to him. I was just like,
He said, "I'm with it.
I'm with it. I feel it. I
He
understand
said, I'm
it.
with it.
He
Like,
said about that life.
my favorite character was Killmonger. And it's just like, I know in some part of my brain, I was like, but the Black Panther, though, he's the hero. You're supposed to be rooting for him. I was like, I was rooting for Killmonger. I was like, come get me.
I had two favorite characters. I had Okoye and
Okoye was my man. When she snatched that wig off, I was yes.
And then
I was like, yes.
But like,
That was a whole word.
that moment when her husband was like, you would kill me, my love. And she was like, for Wakanda? Without question.
Right.
I'm like, yes.
You should really start making her mad, bruh.
I'm like,
No.
Like, first of all, she's the general. Let's just start there. She's the general.
She
Why
run
are you
everything.
acting like you don't know she hard? Like, why you
My
acting
favorite
like you
part
don't know
is
she with it?
Ash, I'm glad you said that. They juxtaposed her nurturing and her being loving with being the general. When she jumped in front of that rhino, because she knew it stopped dead in its tracks to lick her on her face. And she was like, baby, my children will never come for me. What you doing?
Right?
That
She must have forgot who I was.
such a dope
Let me
part.
remind you real quick.
and then
Let me remind you who you married first and foremost.
And then the second,
Like, you must have forgot. I'm here to remind you.
right?
I'm Okoye, the general. Like, remember that.
The second character I liked was T'Challa's sister, little sister. She,
Oh, yes.
she was so intelligent, so smart, and she was just like, I don't care. Like, she was. I know in the comics. I know in the comics she does take him on. Like in the comic books, I know she does take him on to try to get to the crown, but I don't know if they'll show that in the movie. She does become queen at one time.
I remember thinking, like, I love how multifaceted they made her character. Like, she was still very intelligent, but she was still very much the little sister. Like, she was still very much Weirdo. I call them sneakers. Like, wait, what? Like, it's just hilarious, and it was just funny. Like, I loved it. I love that they did that, because one thing I feel like we don't get enough of is joy in Black characters. Getting that laughter. That's why when the Black Boy Joy hashtag came out, that was one of my favorite hashtags. Just to see Black men smiling and laughing, like, it was like, it made me feel good inside. And I remember watching that and feeling like, I love this family dynamic. I love this little brother, big brother, little sister dynamic. And I love that she's intelligent and he lets her be intelligent. He doesn't try to demean the intelligence that he has. He doesn't try to act like he's more intelligent than her or that he knows more. Like,
he doesn't try to put her in her place.
Right.
Like,
That part.
It's just she has the space to grow and to just be herself and to not be shut down for that. It's just like, I'm sure we can all recognize a moment where we just wanted that space to just do what we do and do it well, you know, with nobody trying to step on our toes.
I agree, Miss Barbara. Mbako was the next one. Like he was just great.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I
nah. I was waiting to put that up there. I was waiting to put up there. He was like, haha, we're vegetarian.
Right.
I was like, oh, I'm not though, baby. I swear I'm not. Like, I was excited. I was like, he is fine. Like, ooh.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness. And ooh, yeah, y'all just don't even know.
But I loved M'Baku when he was like, "You do not speak."
Okay, first of all, I need Grape Fry to get it together. So Grape Fry said, I was part of the Horny for Killmonger fans, but then I remember he shot his girlfriend without blinking. Had me rethinking that toxic man. And then she said, I want Winston Duke to smother me with his thighs. First of all, Grape Fry, I just don't even know what to say to you right now.
Oh my goodness.
Man,
I think
clutching pearls and whatnot. Like, what is going
I
on?
want to say M'Baku was very, very like, oh God, that man was. And then I was kind of leaning toward T'Challa in the way that he looked in the movie. I know what he looks like when he's not doing his movies, but I was just like,
I don't know. I like chocolate, so you know, Chadwick Boseman is. First of all, he's a great actor.
Yes.
42 is in my top 5.
Yes.
He killed 42, and if you have not seen 42, 42 with the story of Jackie Robinson, bruh. First of all, trigger warning before you watch it. It will make you feel some things, but it's an amazing story, and it's a story that needed to be told, and it was great. It was fantastic. It was such a great movie. But Chadwick Boseman can act his tail off. Yes, and I love the respect that he showed Denzel when Denzel won his award, and he was like, without Denzel, there would be no Chadwick Boseman because he paid for him to go to school. And I just love that paying it forward. And I love that respect. Like, there's just so many good things about that man. Like, just, and Denzel, what can we just him and his fine kids? Goodness gracious, we just. Y'all ain't seen his son?
I seen his son.
Listen, I'm gonna take your moment.
John David Washington. Google him if you haven't. Is all I'm saying. John David, John David could get some. I'm just saying. No, he couldn't, boyfriend. No, he couldn't.
I'm about to say, you know, boys are listening.
He couldn't, boyfriend. He could not. I am loyal. Why all y'all get quiet? First of all, I need all of y'all to correct me.
Because I had to think about it for a minute. I was like, wait, is my husband watching this? No, he's not watching this. So I'm going to say that if I had the choice, if Tyler and them came around that corner, I'd be like, it's just one time. It's just. But if husband is watching, you don't have anything to worry about, love. Them celebrities got nothing on you. You are my sexy Mr. Clean.
You gonna get a hall pass?
No hall passes. Grayson said exactly. I needed that space as a kid to just be myself and not be shut down. I'm trying to get back to that, but it's hard to unlearn me holding myself back and hiding. And that's what I loved about that is that you got to see what it looked like for a young Black kid to be themselves and not. And I feel like just like that movie shows, just imagine what we could accomplish if that was our lives. If we were given that space to just be ourselves and be children and learn and grow. Like, I think it's amazing. So, yeah.
One of the things that I really loved about the movie is, like, I watched how, like, the little details and stuff that they put into it in the credits, because we bought the DVD, so we watched all the extra stuff. And how they were talking about how none of the women in the movie, not even the extras, had straight hair. Because in Wakanda, there was no colonization. And so that they just had what they saw as beautiful, and it wasn't colonized, or it wasn't colored by what other people thought was beautiful or preferred or what have you. And I was like, you know, me being me and being, you know, raised in America, is like, I did not even notice that. I did not even see that. But that is such a nice touch, because it's just like, when you think about it, a lot of the things that we do and the things that we adhere to and internalize come from somebody telling us that, hey, you have to do this, and our mothers teaching us that, hey, if you're going to fit in, you have to do this, act like this, speak like this, carry yourself like this. you know, fall into this mold or whatever. And the fact that they didn't have that mold to fall into, that they didn't have to fit into it, it's just like, man, imagine the possibilities.
I have waist length hair. You will never tell because I keep my hair up all the time because it's a nuisance. But anytime I did special events or coming up, the first question I get asked, are you going to straighten your hair? No. Are you going to straighten it? You know, you got a big day coming up. You going to press it out? So that always bothered me, but I never said anything. So my daughter has extremely big, long hair. And for her big days, she likes her froze. Oh, mommy, this is a big day. Can you fluff my hair out for me?
And I love
that. Makes me so happy because it's like, I have done my job. You're not saying, oh, can you press it? She like, no, can you make it bigger?
I love that because, okay, and this is like, I don't know, Chelsea story, whatever. I remember when I was in high school, getting ready, I was in the cotillion. And for those of you who don't know what a cotillion is, it's something that the AKA hosts. And basically it's for young Black women and who are getting ready to graduate. And they help them raise money to go to college. And it's basically like, imagine Gone with the Wind, Southern debut. Like you have a big,
like a debutante ball.
It's a debutante ball. It's exactly what it is. And I had just big chopped my hair for the first time. And it was short, but my mom, she refused to let me wear it natural. She forced me to go get it straightened. And it was like we were getting ready to graduate. So it's like June. It's in North Carolina, humidity, it's hot. And she was so mad at me because I didn't get a relaxer. I got it straightened. And it was gone in like a day because I had to walk across campus for my classes. And she was so furious with me. And I was just like, but why did it have to be straightened? Like I would have been happy just with a fro or just like a natural hairstyle. Like, let me put some braids in it. Let me put some twists in it. Let me do something with it. But she was like, no, this is a big moment. You only get to go to your debutante once. So we're going to straighten it. And it was just like, that was one of
that irks my soul.
The largest fights that we had. But then she ended up having to do my hair before the debutante ball because I sweated my hair out. She was like, okay, so what are we going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. This wasn't my idea. So like, what are we finna do? So we're running around trying to buy like hair products and things like 2 hours before I'm supposed to be in a dress, like it's a wedding gown. Like it's a full blown white ball gown. And I'm 2 hours before, and my mom is trying to figure out how to do my hair from back when she did her own hair in like the 70s. Because she's had her hair straightened her whole life.
Oh, baby.
It was interesting. I ended up with a fro. That's it. Nothing special, just a fro. And I was like, do you know how much time we could have saved if you had just let me do this from the beginning? So the fact that you're not forcing your daughter to like fit into that and you're letting her hair be the way it is, like so much respect to you. I'm glad. And I respect you so much for doing that because
our favorite phrase is, baby, the bigger the day, the bigger the hair. She was the only 12-year-old at a SCAD tour. Mm-hmm. She was the only middle schooler because she wants to go to SCAD. She wants to be a character developer.
Dope.
So we go to SCAD and she has a fro hawk. So
I love it.
To give you a visual representation of my children, my son is 9, my daughter is 12. He's bigger than her. So when we go out, people assume they're twins and that because he's a boy, that's why he's bigger. She's like, excuse me, I'm 3 years older than him. We're not about to do this. So we're out and it's maybe 2 other Black people and a whole bunch of not Black people. And everybody's looking at her like, why is this high schooler so small? So she starts speaking to this little boy. She's like, hello, what is your name? And I think he was either 17 or 18 years old. And she was like, well, what do you want to do? He said, well, I don't know. She said, it's fine. You have time to figure it out. I want to be a character developer. So everybody's looking around and looking at my daughter like, who is this big haired girl? She's walking up to people. She's asking them questions. She's like, the lady was describing the tablets they use. And she said a brand. And my daughter raised her hand. She said, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but I think you misspoke. These are the Wacom tablets. And you said something else.
Yep.
And she looked at me. She looked at my daughter. She looked at me and she was like, okay.
Imagine how much confidence Black girls would have if they didn't have to like conform themselves to be something that they weren't constantly.
Right.
But that's the problem, because people look at me in certain spaces like I have unruly children because I'm not oppressive and because I don't yell and scream and belittle, and I don't get it. Like I don't want to say I get embarrassed, but it breaks my heart that I have had other parents, oh, my children can talk to me this way, or I couldn't. It's fine. Your children not coming home with me, or vice versa. Calm down. But I let my children respectfully express themselves. And that is foreign with us sometimes.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. I don't got kids, so I can just speak from the position as the child.
Right, as a kid, yeah. No, we can't talk about everything.
Yeah, but I'm gonna hold my tongue, and we can talk about this some other day, some other time.
Everybody wants to meet your daughter, Trap. I love her.
Oh boy,
sounds amazing. She does. She sounds awesome.
Yeah, she is fire. That is a perfect description of her. Fire.
Well, y'all, we are coming up on an hour and a half extra that I did not plan on. So I want to thank all of you guys who are here, everybody who's coming back in the comments, and going to watching the playback. But I also want to thank my co-host for sticking it out with me. LaKase had to drop out. She was having some technical difficulties, but I'm so appreciative of her being here as well. If Trap wants to start and we work our way around to our outros, we will get out of you guys' hair, let y'all go to sleep, and see y'all next week. Trap, take it away.
I just want to say, not to sound sappy, I'm so happy you reached back out, because I feel like I had put my fiction writer on the back burner. Seeing you all with your brands, your Etsy's, your podcast, that is so inspiring. Because I know y'all know it's just my name and then them little dots. We're going to have something behind those dots next time.
Hey,
I'm working on it.
You got this. You got it.
So I'm so very happy to have met all of you ladies. I think about y'all. I check in on y'all. I watch y'all videos. Y'all inspire me so much. And I'm just so happy to just be in y'all space, even if it's just virtual for now. You're so goofy.
Isn't she though?
Dang. My name's Tamara Woods, and I'm very touched. I mean, honestly, I think about you a lot, and I'm always like, is she okay? Because we know about where you work, and I'll be like, is she doing all right?
For now, from your lips to God's ears, the tentative date is Halloween to not be there.
All right. We'll pray on it.
Right.
My name's Tamara Woods, and I am a cozy mystery author. And when I put in ISSA, it did read it correctly.
Nice.
It did read it correctly, but I'm not going to change all the letters. I'm just going to be annoyed. Anyway, so I'm a cozy mystery author. Today, I was listening to my manuscript on Natural Reader so that I can fix things that needs a fixing. And I was very glad to be on this stream tonight. This was wonderful. I know I didn't talk as much as I normally do, but I'm a little hungry. So, it's dinner time. But I was just glad to just be a part of the conversation and listen and laugh. And this was wonderful. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
My turn?
Yeah.
Let me stretch. Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh my gosh. Y'all have to remember, it is now 7:30 here. So give me a moment.
Oh, you're right.
Hey, this would be actually the time I'd be getting up. You're
right. I apologize. Let me get myself together.
I am the Naked Firefly, and I did have an awesome time up here. This was actually very relaxing. I mean, like it's not relaxing all the time, but this was relaxing and fun to be able to smile. I have a stream actually. My today, y'all, is Friday. I don't know what time it is for everybody at 10 o'clock a.m. if y'all are able to make it, if y'all not too sleepy from this one. I have a podcast that comes out first, second, and fourth Monday of each month, and it's called the Brown Sugar, Honey, and Gold podcast. I write romance, women's fiction, mystery, as well as middle grade fantasy, and I have a debut novel that is coming out in July called The Healer's Love. And I am thankful for the women who are definitely helping me make this happen and pushing me to get it done and being rough with me and hurting my feelings. But that's okay. I know they do it out of love.
Don't make her upset. You know she's sensitive.
She loves me. She does it out of love, though.
Oh,
She's gonna get backstage. I'm here backstage. Go ahead, Chelsea.
All right, you guys. So I am Chelsea, and like everyone else, I have had the time of my life being on the stream with you guys and being able to talk and laugh and be productive. So grateful to be here and in this space with you ladies. It's been so fun. So hi, you guys. I'm Chelsea. I show up on books as CM Lockhart. I am the owner of Written in Melanin Publishing. And if you enjoyed me, then you can check me out on my channel, Written in Melanin. We do a live stream every Tuesday at 12 o'clock. It's LaKase and I, where we talk about books, writing, and we interview authors, and we just generally have a good time. And I write romance. I have one book out now called Keeping Promises. The follow-up to that, Casualties of War and Breaking Promises, will be out later. And and yeah, I'm all about supporting Black authors of all types who write everything. That's just kind of my shtick, my brand, who I am, what I love to do. And I'm so glad to be here with you ladies. And I hope to be able to do this again with you guys. So
Awesome. Well, everybody, I just want to thank again my co-host. You guys know me. I'm Cache. I write short stories, poetry, and the occasional blog post. I will have a blog post and a video coming out tomorrow. What it'll be about, who knows? I don't, because it changed it up at the last minute and I got to figure it out. So there's that. For my second tip for the night for being able to help elevate Black voices, something like this, something as simple as hosting a live stream where you allow Black voices to be heard and to talk about things. Today we talked about all different types of things, from world building to how we found our writers' voices and different questions and things that we have for each other just to learn from each other. So definitely think about doing something like this on your channel in your own way. You don't have to do it this way. It can be different, but just do what you can to elevate the Black voices in our writing community. You don't have to go out and physically protest. You don't have to donate money all the time. You can do something as simple as this and still be helping to elevate the Black community. So we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming and spending your time with us. I hope you guys had a great time. We will see you guys next week. Bye.